Hello everyone, subscribe to my channel to not miss new trending manhwa.
He finds himself back in that strange, ethereal place, a sense of weary familiarity on his face. This desolate realm is a floating island of smoke, adrift in an endless twilight haze. Crumbling western ruins dominate the landscape, devoid of any sign of life. Suddenly, a glint in the distance catches his eye. Could it be another person? An imposing, shadowy figure with glowing eyes appears, radiating immense pressure. The figure reveals himself, a massively built man, beckoning him forward with a challenge. His voice echoes, promising a meeting at the very edge of the abyss. Those piercing, luminous eyes burn with an almost blinding intensity. Our hero's eyes snap open, a jolt of pure shock coursing through him. He gasped for air, waking abruptly in his bed. It was all a terrifying dream. He lies in bed, sweat beading on his brow, muttering about that strange dream again. A voice yells for Sora, warning he'll be late. As he realizes the dream figure felt familiar. Steam fogs up the bathroom mirror, hinting at the morning routine beginning. Wiping the condensation, Sora's reflection stares back, pondering the dream's abyss. He brushes his teeth, dismissing the vivid dream as a result of too much studying. Spitting, Sora sees his shirtless, towel-clad father in the mirror, who teases him for oversleeping. His dad playfully ruffles his hair, boasting about his physique as Sora protests being treated like a child. Sora averts his gaze, reaching for toiletries while declaring he's not looking at his father. Grabbing a bottle, he internally groans about their cramped living situation and his dad's morning displays. With toothpaste still on his chin, Sora listens to his dad's oft-repeated promise of a bigger house. His dad's voice echoes, boasting how joining the army made life more fun as Sora rinses. Sora reflects that it's been 3 years since his big brother joined the self-defense force. He considers his own future, contemplating joining the army himself someday. Looking back at his parents, Sora thinks about leaving this lively life in his playful, unreliable dad. His dad grins, embodying that playful nature, while Sora internally describes his seemingly fierce but loving mom. Mom's stern expression, a vein throbbing on her temple, perfectly matches Sora's description. At breakfast, his mom affectionately ruffles his hair, a moment Sora wishes could last forever. Suddenly, the calm shatters. What? An earthquake. As Sora knew their world would end. Gazing out, Sora admits he never expected the world to end quite like this. A colossal dark tower erupts from the city, tearing through the sky, heralding an unimaginable apocalypse. Sora stares at his reflection, muttering in disbelief, unaware of what's to come. His reflection shows fighter jets near the tower, a structure fated to alter humanity. He gazes at the colossal tower, a gut feeling connecting it to his visions. A horrified realization dawns on Sora. This catastrophe is linked to his recurring dreams. His big brother's voice over the phone reassures them he'll return safely after following orders. I promise, his brother's voice echoes faintly from the phone screen. After that night, the family sits in despair, unable to reach his brother again. They watch the news, which initially advised calm and staying indoors during the disaster. A frantic reporter announces 20 such towers have now erupted worldwide, then broadcasts cease. The television screen dissolves into static, and radio reports become endlessly repetitive loops. Authorities urge citizens to evacuate as Sora and his father observe the chaotic streets below. Before leaving, Mom pens a heartfelt letter to Sora's missing brother. Carrying heavy packs, the family navigates the unsettling city streets towards safety. Sora feels an ominous premonition, sensing the world itself is trying to warn them. He glimpses soldiers in a passing military vehicle, their expressions grim. Reflected in the window, Sora sees only despair etched on the soldier's face. Abandoned vehicles along their path bear horrific, unexplained scars. A sickening stench emanates from the damaged cars, hinting at unseen horrors. His father voices their shared dread, questioning the terrifying events unfolding. They finally reach the designated gym, now a temporary shelter overflowing with refugees. Inside the gym, a somber silence hangs heavy as only a few people spoke. Sora observed the grim faces. It felt like everyone was awaiting a death sentence. His mother beckoned them forward, but even in that silence, an unease lingered. Amidst the quiet despair, there were troublemakers stirring. Some acted out, perhaps just to prove they still existed in this broken world. Suddenly, a man confronts a young boy, accusing, You stole my bread." The terrified boy stammers, "I didn't steal," as fear grips his face. The man, enraged, insists everyone was given one piece. "You ate mine." Without warning, the man strikes the child, a brutal punch landing hard. Onlookers gasp in shock, muttering, "He hit him, someone do something," yet no one moves. The bully smirks, holding the stolen bread aloft while gripping the boy's wrist. With glowing eyes, he sneers, "You're full now. so it's fine for me to borrow your bread, isn't it? As the boy stammers yes. Okay, then, the man declares with a crazed look, your bread is mine till you die. The boy sobs as the man cruelly adds, you won't last more than a few days anyway. Suddenly, Sora's dad steps forward, sharply asking the bully, Oi, you. What are you doing? The bully turns, a contemptuous sneer on his face. Worry about yourself, Jeezer. As the terrified child watches, Sora's dad, his face stern and resolute, demands, give him his bread back. Shut up, the bully roars, swinging a wild punch towards Sora's father. Sora's dad expertly dodges and counters with a swift, powerful kick to the bully's midsection. The bully crashes to the ground, winded and defeated by the unexpected intervention. Sora's dad hands the bread back to the grateful boy as the defeated bully seethes. His father's gaze remains sharp and unwavering, a silent warning. The down bully glares back, gritting his teeth in humiliated anger. Spitting, the bully retreats, vowing, remember this, as he walks away. Sora watches his dad, who reassures him, don't worry, I'll keep an eye on him. His father's stern eyes follow the retreating figure of the troublemaker. The bully internally swears, I'll never forget that face even if I die. Sora stares blankly ahead, a quiet intensity in his eyes. A name appears, Kagawa Eiji, as shadowy figures loom in a dark scene. Sora recalls, he was the one who enjoyed bullying me, revealing a past tormentor. Sora recalls Kagawa Eiji, his past tormentor, sneering down at him. Eiji and his cronies surround Sora, a voice declaring him trash. Back in the shelter, a soldier's voice cuts through. There's an emergency call. He slams his foot, trying to get the refugees' attention. An urgent order follows. Everyone, evacuate to the high mobility vehicle behind the shelter. A man in a suit, representing the refugees, steps forward demanding, why? It's confidential. The soldier stammers, clearly under pressure. He insists no more information about the situation can be revealed. Can't tell, the man presses, his disbelief growing. He explodes with frustration. You locked us in here for 2 days, and now you won't even explain why we have to evacuate. The man demands to know, why are we paying our taxes? As the soldier looks on helplessly, he slams his foot in fury, cracking the very floor beneath him. The soldier, now sweating, faces the increasingly agitated crowd. They're coming, hurry up and run, the soldier screams, as the man questions they. Sora urgently pulls his parents, yelling, Dad, Mom, hurry. He glances back, a sense of unease washing over him, somehow. Sora's eyes widen with dread, thinking, I've got a really bad feeling about this. The soldier, now on the floor, strains to hold the door shut, shouting, I can't hold on anymore. Hurry to the car. Suddenly, the door bursts open, revealing terrifying, armed figures as refugees recoil in horror. A monstrous, blood-splattered face with glowing eyes glares menacingly as Sora thinks that. Sora's eyes widen in sheer terror, exclaiming, what the hell is that? Monstrous figures burst forth, as panic cries if it's a monster, help, fill the air. His parents desperately call out, Sora, hurry, trying to reach him. A chaotic stampede ensues as everyone scrambles towards the evacuation vehicle. Sora, falling behind, yells to his parents, I can't make it. You to go first. He reaches out desperately as his parents are swept along by the frantic crowd. Sora lunges, barely managing to grasp his mother's hand as she cries his name. Those already on the vehicle shout, it's full, don't drag us down. Gritting his teeth, Sora makes a difficult, split-second decision. He lets go, shouting, I'll get into another car. As his parents are pulled away, Sora races towards an evacuation truck, only to find it completely packed. He spots another vehicle, but his hope dwindles as it's also overflowing. With a surge of adrenaline, Sora sprints towards the final departing truck. He leaps, barely catching the tailgate as others scramble alongside him. Suddenly, a hand extends from above, offering a lifeline. Relief washes over Sora as he grasps the hand, gasping, thank you. A chilling smirk appears on the helper's face, ominously questioning, thank you, is it? Sora's eyes widen in dawning horror as he recognizes the voice. It's Kagawa Eiji, his tormentor, sneering, that's my line, as Sora reels in disbelief. Eiji shoves him, roaring, die in your dad's place, trash, sending Sora falling. Sora plummets towards the ground, betrayed by his tormentor. He crashes onto the chaotic street, a chilling thought, this is it. Despair washes over him as he reaches out. I don't want to die. Curled on the cold ground, a faint plea escapes someone. His eyes shut, bracing for the inevitable, pain etched on his face. Help me, he silently screams, as ethereal feet materialize before him. A luminous, ghostly figure now stands over him. Sora recognizes he's the one from my dream. The spectral being's powerful gaze meets his, recalling the words at the end of the abyss. A swirling dark portal opens, echoing the promise, "I'll be waiting for you." Sora's consciousness fades into an overwhelming white light. Sora finds himself sprawled on unfamiliar, dusty ground, particles dancing in the air. His eyes widen in confusion as he murmurs, "Was that a dream? Where am I?" A crude stone hammer, radiating a dangerous aura, slices through the air. The weapon descends rapidly towards Sora's face, who could only utter, "Huh?" A snarling, green-skinned monster with glowing red eyes is revealed, mid-attack. Sora scrambles backward, horrified. "Monsters! Where are Mom and Dad?" He stares at the desolate, ruined landscape, questioning, "Is this hell? Am I dead?" A stinging blow lands, drawing blood as he cries out, "That hurt." The stone weapon clatters nearby, his thoughts fixate, the monsters. Another goblin-like creature charges him, and he thinks, "Damn it. Why are they only coming after me?" The goblin bursts through debris, lunging ferociously with its tongue out. Sora flees, screaming, "What the hell is going on?" as another monster closes in. He recalls a colossal tower erupting from nowhere, then Eiji's cruel betrayal. Memories flash, Eiji's sneering face, then the enigmatic spectral man from his dream. Yet another monster leaps to attack, and Sora thinks in despair, "And these monsters?" His eyes blaze with a sudden purple energy as he internally seethes, "Damn you bastards." With newfound power, Sora smashes the creature beneath him, roaring, "Die, all of you." He stands over the slain beast in the desolate ruins, realizing with a gasp, "I survived." Inspecting the corpse, he notes it's like a video game monster, with strange black runes on its chest. As rain suddenly begins to pour, Sora looks bewildered. What? Sensing a new, unsettling change. From the monster's chest, a dark, glowing crystal begins to emerge. Sora stares, a bloody scratch on his cheek, thinking, "This is..." The goblin lies dead, the strange crystal embedded where its heart should be. The crystal floats out and hovers before a bewildered Sora, who asks, "What is this?" Suddenly, the crystal shoots forward, embedding itself into Sora's chest. He clutches his chest in shock, exclaiming, "It went into my body." Touching his cheek, he wonders, my wound is healing." A purple aura surrounds him as he clenches his fist, realizing, and that's not all. "It feels like I've become stronger." He picks up the goblin's crude weapon, pondering, "Can I become stronger after defeating enemies like in a game?" Surveying the area, he resolves there might be other monsters on this small island. "I'll check the surroundings to avoid getting attacked." Sora confirms he's scouted the immediate ruins. He stands firm, realizing there are no other monsters in the vicinity. His gaze fixes on the distant edge, pondering if that's the only way out. The view expands, showing Sora on a floating island with a treacherous staircase descending into clouds. He carefully begins his descent down the rocky, floating steps, noticing smoke below. The floating stairs stretch precariously into the cloudy abyss before him. A look of apprehension crosses his face. This path looks incredibly dangerous. He descends further, thinking this is the perfect kind of place for monsters to hide. Just like in a game. He imagines falling, knowing that unlike a game, respawning is not an option here. Bracing himself on a step, he admits he lacks the courage to test if this world follows game logic. Sora reaches the end of the perilous stairs, exclaiming, "I made it, the stairs lead here." He cautiously peeks around a stone archway, weapon ready, into an unknown chamber. Stepping into a dimly lit stone corridor, Sora remains vigilant, axe held tight. Suddenly, a nearby brazier burst into roaring flames, startling him. Before him stands a large, ancient tombstone, its brazier now lit, guarding a massive sealed door. Sora approaches the mysterious tombstone, his shadows stretching long in the flickering light. He reaches out, his fingers brushing against strange, crumbling inscriptions on the stone. "I've never seen these characters before," he thinks, examining the ancient writing. A look of surprise as he realizes, "But their meaning is flowing into my head." Information floods Sora's mind directly from the tombstone's enigmatic script. The tombstone reveals a way out, gather fragments to leave the abyss. A flicker of hope ignites in Sora's eyes. Collecting fragments means escape. Clutching his weapon, newfound determination surges through him. "I'm fired up now." He approaches the massive sealed door, recalling the first monster wasn't too tough. With a surge of adrenaline, Sora pushes the colossal door, convinced he can survive. As light floods in, he learns the first floor was 900 square meters, its monster marked 1. He recalls the second floor, twice as large, with the monster bearing the number 2. On the third, even larger floor, he faced for beast, one marked with a 3. These numbered monsters hold the fragments, the very keys to progressing. As floor numbers increase, so does the monster's strength. Sora pushes towards floor 4. Sora grimly considers the escalating challenge. What's worse is, he knows with each ascent, it gets harder to find the key. The reason is clear as vast landscapes unfold, because each floor's area doubles as I go up. And not just the size, and there are 2 times as many monsters. He stands over fallen beast, battle-worn but resolute, thinking, but I? Sora roars, purple energy surging, eyes slowly kept getting stronger, too. His power erupts, shattering the ground with a devastating blow. Now with white hair, he surveys a new, higher vista. The higher I went, the more monsters showed up. He even faced the formidable 12th floor shelter attacker, but it was no match for me now. Standing over the vanquished foe, Sora reflects on the endless tide of creatures. He battled endless hordes, his emotions growing numb with each fight. Notifications flashed, monster count soaring exponentially with each floor. By the 30th floor, over 500 million monsters stood in his way. Finding the key monster felt like searching for a contact lens in a vast desert. Some key monsters were heavily guarded by swarms of lesser beasts. Others lurked deep within treacherous caves, hidden from plain sight. And the most frustrating were those that only appeared after a full clear. Sora, now with white hair and dark power, unleashed devastating attacks. He'd find them eventually, even if it meant wiping out every single creature. No matter the odds, he relentlessly crushed any foe holding a fragment. Even monsters marked 11 and 12 fell before his relentless advance. Amidst the carnage, Sora declared, I kept moving forward. He reached yet another colossal door, and on the 42nd floor of the abyss, an almost unimaginable number of monsters awaited, over 2 trillion. Dragons and behemoths filled the sky, their menacing laughter echoing. Sora, consumed by battle lust, roared with exhilaration, this is great. Ancient ruins crumbled as winged terrors swarmed the desolate landscape. He pondered the passage of time, then dismissed it. Time is no longer a valid concept. Countless tally marks on a colossal stone pillar testified to his endless struggle. Kneeling by skeletal remains, Sora etched another mark. Only death and killing exist here. Sora's gaze hardens, reflecting the endless cycle of slaughter. The remnants of battle lay scattered, a testament to monsters' death, and his imposing shadow falls over the desolate, blood-soaked ground. A colossal beast roars, bringing its weapon down on a defiant Sora. Blood splatters across the earth, the grim reality of me killing them. With a furious spin, Sora cleaves through another monstrous adversary. He unleashes a torrent of dark energy, obliterating everything around him. Standing over a mangled corpse, Sora grips a piece of his fallen foe. Exhausted, he wonders aloud, what number is this one? With grim resolve, he declares, I'll just carve it, continuing his count. Sora, amidst countless tally marks, believes he's pinpointed the key's location. Facing a colossal, shadowy beast, he roars, it's about time I found the key. The ground erupts violently, sending massive chunks of rock flying everywhere. Sora, alert and battle-ready, senses the immense power bursting forth. A monstrous, multi-limbed creature, wreathed in shadow, emerges from the chaos. Its razor-sharp appendage slices through the air with terrifying speed. The grotesque beast towers over Sora, who remarks dryly, you're flashy. With glowing purple eyes, Sora intensely questions the creature, are you the key? The monster's massive limb slams down, aiming to crush him. Sora, now a blur of blue energy, narrowly evades the devastating strike. Sora scoffs, no matter how strong you are, it's always the same. He continues, these monsters that think they're stronger than me. Surrounded by fallen beasts, he states, die after a single hit, no. His glowing eye narrows, a steely resolve hardening his features. Standing on the marked ground, he realizes more power doesn't mean anything to me anymore. His fist clenches, dark power coursing through him. Where is it? The ground trembles as he demands the key to the 42nd floor. Sora roars at the sky, energy erupting around him. Come out. Gazing at the endless swarms, he screams in frustration. I'm sick of this. Suddenly, a gleaming tower appears in a modern city, a stark contrast to the abyss. This new world, too, once faced devastation as monsters ravaged its cities. Hordes of grotesque beasts had slaughtered most of mankind in a brutal onslaught. Yet survivors of that judgment day awakened, gaining access to a mysterious system. Through the system, the awakened received immense power, their combat abilities initialized. With newfound strength, they rebuilt order from chaos, forming formidable hunter guilds. Now, a group of these elite hunters stands before that very same imposing tower. And then the scene abruptly shifts back to the abyss where Sora confronts a leaping, monstrous wolf. Suddenly, a disembodied voice echoes, demanding, wait, show us your stats. Sora, mid-action, looks utterly bewildered by the strange request, muttering, what the? Elsewhere, a chain wolf-like beast is being summoned as urgent voices cry. He used an advanced transfer scroll. Stop him. Sora, gaunt and battle-worn, wonders, was that human speech? Elsewhere, a chain wolf is pulled into a blinding light, met with disbelief. No way. Sora spots the radiant energy, a glimmer of hope igniting, an exit. His eyes widen, the impossible thought echoing, an exit. With a desperate roar, Sora launches himself towards the light, shattering the earth, an exit. He's caught in the pull. A system warning flashing. Absol summon cannot transfer more than to beings. Glowing chains and warnings envelop Sora as he's dragged into the unknown. A fierce, almost manic grin spreads across Sora's face. No one. His glowing eye burns with resolve, defying the system. No one will get in my way. Sora strains against the magical chains, determined to break free from the abyss. Meanwhile, near Earth's city, a dark forest stirs with an ominous presence. A pink-haired woman in armor pants heavily, fear etched on her face. Her high-heeled boot thuds against the uneven ground as she flees. Yusanazaki, level 19, sprints desperately, determined not to be caught. Suddenly, a thorny vine snakes out, ensnaring her ankle. The treacherous tendril seems to originate from the gnarled, shadowy trees. Yu tumbles to the ground as an arrow narrowly misses her head. Lying defeated, she realizes the direness of her situation. A mysterious hand appears, wrapped in vines, its owner remarking on her troublesome nature. Two figures emerge, Aika, a level 30 for druid, and a brawny man demanding her advanced transfer scroll. The brawny man, Chuji Shido, a level 35 swordsman, threatens you, but Aika insists no killing. Yu, terrified, cries out, hunters attacking each other is forbidden. It's against the rules. Her captor, Shaosei Doshida, a level 38 barbarian, licks his lips with a predatory grin. Shaosei looms over the fallen Yu, roaring, I am the rules around here. With glowing red eyes, Shaosei demands, hand over the scroll nicely, and I'll leave your bones intact. Yu, cornered, warns them, you really don't want to push me any further. Revealing a glowing item behind her, Aika urgently shouts, oh no, she's about to use force summon, stop her. Shaosei's eye flares with blue light as he snarls, you damn woman. Enraged, Shaosei lunges, wreathed in purple energy, demanding, give me the scroll. Yu, with fierce determination, activates the glowing scroll, bracing against the oncoming attack. Shaosei's massive blade slices through the air, aimed directly at Yu. He recoils in shock, exclaiming, a teleportation circle. Yu, activating the scroll midair, declares, if I'm going to die, you're coming with me. Aika panics, force summon. An advanced monster summoned by force can't be controlled. This is the end. Shaosei's fist, crackling with blue energy, hurtles towards Yu as Aika screams, stop her now. Blue lightning engulfs Shaosei as he throws his powerful punch. Yu, eyes blazing pink, unleashes her own furious energy, screaming die. A colossal vortex of swirling blue energy and lightning erupts from the ground, engulfing the area. Shaosei and Aika stare upwards, dwarfed by the immense power unfolding. Aika looks terrified as Shaosei grimly mutters, that energy, this is bad. A colossal pillar of crackling blue energy and chains erupts, tearing through the dark forest. The hunters watch in awe as a gigantic, shadowy leg descends, one exclaiming, ah, it showed up. From the maelstrom, a spectral wolf materializes, identified by the system, Cerberus LV3. Shaosei scoffs, a level 3 Cerberus. What a scare, as a much smaller wolf appears near you. He stares in disbelief as Aika mocks, this is the scroll you risked your life for. What a joke. Suddenly, a monstrous, bloody claw appears behind Aika, who turns in startled confusion. A shadowy humanoid figure with glowing eyes now stands over you, the summoned Cerberus torn in half. The hunters recoil in shock, Shaosei yelling, what the hell? Aika stammers. A humanoid monster. Yu, terrified, looks up at the imposing figure, uttering, why you're? Sora, battle-scarred with glowing eyes and flowing white hair, declares with grim satisfaction, I'm free. Sora exclaims with raw triumph, I finally escaped that place. He unleashes a primal scream, his scarred body radiating immense power. A wave of dark energy washes over the hunters as Sora laughs, floating above them. Chuji trembles, admitting, just hearing that laugh, I can't move a muscle, what pressure. Aika, equally terrified, stammers, who is that? Sora lands, facing Aika, who looks bewildered, a cross marking a grave behind him. As the dark aura around Sora subsides, Aika stares, taken aback by his presence. Sora's crimson eye gleams intensely, his wild white hair framing his determined face. He grabs Aika, demanding, is this Earth? To which she tearfully confirms, of course it is. A wide, relieved grin spreads across Sora's face as he declares, finally, I finally made it back. Chuji scoffs, the hell you guys doing, cosplay or something? Shaosei roars, don't mock the Koshu Guild tiger roar, punk, as they're all blasted back. The three hunters are violently thrown through the air by an invisible force. Sora's eye gleams with a menacing purple light, crackling with power. Chuji, visibly shaken, stammers, "It's a monster," as he faces Sora. Sora's gaze locks onto Chuji, a distorted, intense focus. His terrifying stare then shifts to Xiaosei, who recoils in fear. Chuji screams in agony as purple energy violently courses through his body. Sora stands over the tormented Chuji, demanding, "Show me your number." Chuji, eyes glowing white with pain, gasps, "Number? What are you talking about?" Sora smirks, his purple aura intensifying as he speaks to the tormented Chuji. His claw-like hand clenches, a sharp sound echoing his power. Chuji groans in pain, pinned down by Sora's overwhelming presence. A dark stain spreads on the ground beneath Chuji, a testament to his terror. Chuji curses his own weakness as his allies watch, Xiaosei also struggling. Sora coldly glances at the remaining hunters, uttering a simple command, "Get lost." With another invisible blast, the hunters are sent flying, Chuji screaming threats. He stares at Sora's heavily scarred back, awestruck by his raw power. She trembles, wondering if he's a demon summoned from the abyss by her scroll. Sora turns to you, his scarred form imposing, asking, "How many years since the tower appeared?" You, wide-eyed and sweating, reveals, "It's the 5th year." Sora questions her strange queries and attire, as he confirms it's after the tower's arrival. She explains that since the tower, a third of cities fell, and the system awakened in humans. A news report shows city's devastation. Sora realizes, that's where I used to live. A single tear escapes Sora's eye, his face etched with anguish for his home. He grabs you desperately, asking about my city, and she replies, "It's already in ruins." You adds, trying to reassure him, that strong fighters went there to handle the monsters. Sora's eyes blaze with urgency as he demands, "How do I get to city from here?" You quickly points, indicating the direction towards the besieged city. She watches him depart, a worried expression crossing her face, murmuring, "He's going alone." Aika, witnessing Sora's departure, resolves, "I have to inform Lady Onisama." Meanwhile, the battered hunters trudge through a ruined city, Chuji muttering, "That bastard." Abruptly, a dark, cloaked figure with piercing eyes materializes before the startled hunters. Shadowy tendrils erupt as the figure lands, Chuji yelling, "Who the hell is he?" The hooded stranger's glowing eyes narrow, stating, "I can sense his presence on you guys. An ultimatum is given. You've got 3 seconds. Tell me where he is." The 3 hunters look up, a mix of defiance and terror on their faces. Chuji, with a scowl, shouts back defiantly, "You're all full of crap." "Time's up," the figure declares. Unleashing a lethal strike as system messages announce Aika and Chuji are deceased. The scene shifts to the towering modern building of the frontline guild Tiger's Roar HQ. Inside the guild, a subordinate reports Donashida's party is gone, along with Sonozaki and the scroll. Her superior, unseen, seethes with rage, calling them useless trash, as wine splashes violently. The blonde guild leader scoffs, questioning how his recommended team lost to a mere level 10 summoner. Mukai Licht, a level 118 storm priest, deduces they were annihilated in a single devastating blow. He coldly orders his subordinate to discover who was responsible for the massacre. Licht then commands the capture of Sonozaki, who must explain himself to that person. Staring out the window, Licht declares grimly, "Anyone who lays a hand on my subordinates dies." Suddenly, Sora, a blur of white hair and scars, leaps past the high-rise window, startling Licht. Licht narrows his eyes, sensing an overwhelming stench of blood. Wondering about the newcomer's identity, he gazes towards Sora's trajectory, observing a swarm of bats over what he identifies as a fallen zone. Licht realizes this new threat is a major force on the move. He deduces that after 5 years, the tower is finally awakening. Licht decisively orders all search squads to fall back immediately. As Sora streaks across the sky, Licht recognizes a crisis is unfolding. Sora, a scarred figure with flowing white hair, leaps through the desolate, bat-infested city. He lands overlooking the Essity Fallen Zone, a grim expanse of ruins. Sora reflects that while he was trapped in the abyss, his world became a hellscape. He recalls his time in the abyss, where he was forced to become stronger. A flashback shows a younger, terrified Sora struggling against a monstrous foe. But now, a transformed Sora effortlessly decimates monsters, proving his newfound strength. Sora, amidst monster remains, admits his senses dulled during his time in the abyss. He recalls the desperate measures taken, consuming monster flesh, nearly becoming a beast himself. Yet, the thought of his family, a warm memory, kept his humanity intact. Now, monsters that once instilled terror in him fly towards him. With newfound power, he effortlessly dispatches a bat-like creature, deeming it a mere weakling. His eyes glow with determination as he leaps, thoughts of his family urging him, "Please be safe." He arrives in S City, a once thriving metropolis now reduced to haunting ruins. Sora ascends stairs in a dilapidated building, noting the quake-like destruction but no recent human or monster activity. He opens a door, realizing with a grim expression that everyone evacuated. No one lives here now. Standing before a shattered doorway, Sora quietly murmurs, "I'm home." Sora steps into the desolate remains of his former home, a beacon of light in the darkness. He knew it was empty, yet this place, filled with his happiest memories, called to him. On a dusty table, he discovers a letter, a message from a past he thought lost. His family, refusing to believe he was gone, had recreated his room a sanctuary of hope. Tears streamed down Sora's face. They risked everything, waiting for his return. They even left clothes, ensuring he'd have something familiar when he came back. The letter reveals a map to the 6th shelter, a plea for him to find them. Holding a cherished family photo, the words "will be waiting for you," from Dad and Mom echo. Overwhelmed, Sora clutches the letter and photo, a torrent of emotion washing over him. His gaze hardens, reflected in a gleaming knife as he wonders about his current strength. Sora wonders if he's strong enough to end this post-apocalyptic mess. He hopes with his new power he can reclaim everything he's lost. His eyes fixate, resolute on reaching the 6th shelter. He plans to head east, following the map his family left. But the ruined city presents a challenge. The roads are utterly destroyed. Sora smirks, deciding a direct path straight ahead is faster. He launches himself across the devastated urban landscape with incredible speed. Suddenly, a dark, monstrous shape rises from the crumbling structures. A terrifying, winged beast with glowing eyes and razor claws swoops towards him. Sora meets the threat head-on, a blur of motion as he slices through the creature. Bright flashes of energy erupt across the ruined cityscape, marking Sora's destructive path. Elsewhere, two guards on a rooftop hear the commotion, one dismissing it as the other's imagination. Suddenly, a blinding streak of light zips across the sky above them, impossible to ignore. Stunned, one guard points, exclaiming he couldn't even track the object's incredible speed. Another man rushes over, excitedly showing his phone, proclaiming he caught the phenomenon on camera. The footage reveals Sora, a blur of white hair and motion, soaring through the air. Identified as a person. Nearby, a terrified woman with pink hair cowers as Sora passes overhead, mistaking him for a threat. She desperately pleads that she's only in the dangerous zone to scavenge for food. 3 menacing figures approach her from behind, noting her presence and making unsettling comments. One of the men grins predatorily, his words, "Don't worry. We're not bad guys," dripping with sinister intent. The lead thug smirks menacingly, promising to take real good care of the terrified woman. He leans closer, touching her chin, his words, "Don't be scared now," dripping with false comfort. His leering face fills the frame, a disturbing grin as he whispers they'll be gentle. The thug's intentions become clearer as he crudely remarks on her appearance. Suddenly, a foot slams down nearby, a voice declaring, "Still the same old trash." Sora appears, his eyes glowing with purple fury, spitting out the word "scum." Startled, the thug whirls around, demanding who's there, and threatening any interference. Seeing Sora, the thug orders his cronies, "Get him, boys." His 2 henchmen charge forward, weapons drawn, yelling threats at Sora. With a single, powerful move, Sora sends all 3 assailants flying backward through the air. The thug's face contorts in pain as blood erupts from the brutal impact. Sora looms over the downed assailant, a silent, imposing figure. His glowing purple eyes fixate on the fallen man, devoid of mercy. Another thug lunges, desperately trying to grab hold of Sora. Sora retaliates instantly, a devastating strike landing squarely on the thug's jaw. The lead thug, Eiji, spits defiance, warning Sora about his powerful guild, Tororor. A smirk plays on Sora's lips as he utters the name, Eiji Kagawa. Sora taunts him, "Don't even remember the face of the guy you killed." Eiji's eyes widen in terror, a name escaping his lips in disbelief. "You? No way. Are you Mukajima?" "That's impossible," Eiji stammers, pure shock etched across his face. Eiji recoils in terror, screaming, "Stay back. Why the hell are you alive?" Desperate, Eiji throws a wild punch directly at Sora's face. Sora merely smirks, a chilling hiss escaping his lips. With lightning speed, Sora's hand shoots out, effortlessly catching Eiji's fist. "Yeah," Sora confirms, his hand now gripping Eiji's throat. "I clawed my way back from hell." Lifting Eiji, Sora coldly adds, "Thanks to you." Veins bulge on Sora's face as he snarls, "And now it's your turn to fall into hell," Sora declares, his grip tightening with brutal force. Eiji gasps and chokes, his hands clawing uselessly at Sora's unyielding grip. Dark whispers echo around Sora, "Kill him. You're the strongest. Do what you want." As a demonic aura envelops him, a flashback reveals Eiji brutally tormenting a younger Sora who endured constant pain. The memories continue, showing the humiliation Sora suffered at Eiji's hands. Young Sora felt utter powerlessness against his relentless bully. Back in the present, Sora's grip tightens, vowing, "Today, right here, I'll pay it all back." Another flashback shows Eiji sadistically explaining he bullies Sora because trampling his dignity feels so good. Sora's eye, now a cold, determined glint, focuses on his tormentor. Suddenly, Sora's hand loosens its grip on Eiji's throat. Eiji collapses, coughing violently as Sora stands over him, seemingly reconsidering. Sora looks at his hand, a flicker of doubt crossing his face, realizing, no good. I'm becoming just like him. A memory of Eiji's earlier cruelty towards the woman flashes, reminding Sora why he intervened. Sora's glowing eyes narrow as he considers, if I leave scum like him alone. He concludes, there will be more victims, his gaze fixed on Kagawa. You couldn't kill me, so I won't kill you either, Sora declares, but adds, I can't just let you go. As Eiji trembles, a memory surfaces for the 2 years I was bullied at school, one punch. Another flashback for bullying the weak, one punch. The painful past continues, for trying to kill me by pushing me off the truck, to punches. Sora proposes, if you can take 4 of my punches, we'll call it even, as Eiji begs, I was wrong. It's my fault. Eiji pleads desperately, forgive me. If I take even 1 punch from the current you, I'll die. Sora grabs Eiji's collar, ominously whispering, don't worry. An intense close-up reveals the cold fury burning in Sora's glowing eye. Sora's chilling promise, I'll go easy on you, reflects in Eiji's terrified eye. The first punch lands with brutal force, Eiji's face contorting in agony. Second punch, Sora declares, sending Eiji flying as onlookers watch in stunned silence. Blood splatters across the cold ground, a stark reminder of the violence. Sora delivers the third punch, a devastating blow to Eiji's already broken body. Looming over him, Sora commands, get up. But Eiji can only whisper, and no more. Defeated and bloodied, Eiji begs, just kill me, his spirit utterly crushed. Sora's foot hovers above Eiji's face, a final, terrifying threat. With a ground-shattering stomp, Sora unleashes his pent-up fury. Eiji's vision blurs, blood splattering as he faces Sora's final judgment. Eiji lies broken, his face a mask of agony and blood after Sora's brutal stomp. Sora muses that blinding Eiji and severing his limbs would be a fair punishment. He coldly orders the remaining thugs, take him to the hospital, and they nervously agree. Sora delivers a final warning to the defeated Eiji, never show yourself before me again. With incredible speed, Sora leaps away, leaving the thugs and the ruined street behind. Sora reflects, trash cleanup is done. Let's move on, his expression resolute. He streaks across the desolate cityscape, declaring, I'm going home. The scene shifts to a wider view of the dilapidated city's buffer zone. Soldiers on patrol discuss their duties, one wishing for the safer wall patrol. Another soldier teases his comrade about fearing monsters while others laugh nearby. Commander Kajura Tanji barks, everyone, stay alert. A monster could show up at any time. Private Matsuura Shauki remarks, but this is a buffer zone. Monsters from Area X rarely come here. Suddenly, shadowy tendrils and claws rip through the soldiers, chaos erupting. A colossal, single-eyed kraken spawn, level 45, burst onto the scene, terrifying the squad. Don't panic. Maintain formation, a soldier desperately yells from the rear. The soldiers unleash a hail of bullets, which merely spark against the monster's hide. The kraken spawns massive, Vainai stares impassively, unharmed by the assault. Damn it, its level is too high, our weapons aren't working. A soldier cries in despair. The monster's kraken spawn lunges, its terrifying form casting a dark shadow over them. Everyone scatter, Commander Kajura screams, as the soldiers stare in pure horror. The kraken spawn's tendrils unleash chaos, soldiers falling amidst a bloody onslaught. Commander Kajura screams shun, in raw despair as he witnesses the carnage. He stands defiantly before the colossal beast, cursing, damn it, you octopus bastard. Kajura charges forward with a desperate plan, shouting, I'll take you down. From above, bullets rain down, merely sparking against the monster's impenetrable hide. Its massive, unblinking eye stares back, completely unfazed by their assault. Kajura sprints through the devastation, the package on his back now emitting smoke. The kraken spawn's gaze locks onto the few remaining soldiers, tendrils closing in. A soldier looks up in momentary confusion, the attacks stopped. The monster's eye twitches, its focus sharpening with deadly intent. Two soldiers stare upwards as the kraken spawn seems to flinch from an unseen force. A soldier, bewildered, exclaims, what is this, as his comrade looks on in shock. Commander Kajura grins fiercely, realizing it's scared. The kraken spawn's massive eye darts around, unmistakable terror in its gaze. The colossal monster visibly recoils, its tendrils pulling back as if from a threat. The remaining soldiers hesitate, one muttering, "I don't know what it's scared of," but Kajura, his package sparking, yells, "Now's our chance," and sprints forward. He charges directly at the distracted Kraken spawn, a blur of motion amidst the chaos. Kajura slams the smoking package onto the monster's hide, roaring, "Die!" A blinding, fiery explosion erupts, engulfing the Kraken spawn and the surrounding area. Amidst the smoke, a soldier anxiously asks, "Did we get it?" The Kraken spawn's eye glares through the haze, largely undamaged by the blast. A soldier stares up in dawning horror as the monster remains, uttering a choked "ah." He collapses in disbelief, shouting, "It's unscathed? No way." A monstrous tendril whips down with terrifying speed towards another soldier. Suddenly, a figure crashes down from above, pulverizing the Kraken spawn's head. A blood-splattered soldier stares in stunned confusion at the sudden turn of events. Commander Kajura, equally shocked, mutters, "Was it afraid of?" His gaze fixes on Sora, standing victorious atop the fallen beast. "That guy?" Kajura marvels. "That monster survived our explosion, but he took it down in one blow." Kajura muses, "Only a handful have this kind of S-class destructive power. But I've never seen him." Determined, Kajura declares, "No matter what, I'm going to find out who he is." Activating his reconnaissance skill. His eyes widen in disbelief. "What? No way," as the skin attempts to process. A glaring red system alert flashes, warning, "System warning, show respect." Kajura stammers internally, "I can't see his information," as the system fails. The commander reels back, the shock overwhelming his senses. Soldiers rush to their fallen second lieutenant, one yelling, "The second lieutenant collapsed. Call a medic." Sora glances back, a simple above his head, oblivious to the chaos he's caused. He calmly approaches a surviving soldier. "Hey, you. I want to ask you something." The soldier nervously affirming. Sora inquires, "How far is Refuge Area G from here?" His gaze steady on the soldier. The soldier nervously replies, "About 50 kilometers north, but you must cross Area X." Sora, unfazed, coolly inquires, "Area X?" The soldier explains it's a zone where they concentrate monsters, with many hunters fighting there. Sora smirks as a soldier off-screen exclaims over rare item drops from the beast. He observes soldiers gathering loot, realizing monster drops work just like in a game. Sora then asks the soldier, "How strong was that monster to you guys?" The soldier, sweating, admits, "Level 45, a pretty tough opponent for us." Sora critically assesses them. "You struggle with this. How many level 45s are in the monster rush?" The soldier exclaims, "Less than 100, any more, and humanity would be finished." Sora nods, "Got it, thanks, see ya," and prepares to depart. The soldier stammers, watching Sora prepare to leave. As Sora walks off, the soldier desperately calls out, "Wait." He faces Sora. "This may be a selfish request, but..." The soldier pleads, his voice echoing through the ruins, "Please." He bows his head earnestly. "Would you be willing to go to Area X? With a powerful hunter like you," the soldier insists, "you could surely save many people." Sora considers, "To get to Refuge Area G, going through Area X is the shortest route, right?" Sora agrees. "All right then," leaving the soldier stunned. "Does that mean?" Sora smirks, "Yeah. On the way to Area X, any monster unlucky enough to encounter me, I'll take them all down." The scene shifts to the rear of the front line, a military camp bustling with activity. Commander Kajura groans, regaining consciousness on a military cot. A voice exclaims, "Second Lieutenant, you're finally awake." A relieved soldier peers down at the awakening Kajura. Kajura sits up, learning he was unconscious for about 10 minutes. The soldier reveals a monster-dropped recovery item revived Kajura instantly. Kajura's gaze sharpens with renewed focus. He immediately asks, "The person who saved us earlier?" The soldier reports their mysterious savior headed north. Kajura thoughtfully repeats, "North," as he processes the information. Suddenly alarmed, Kajura demands, "Hold on a second. What did you just say?" Kajura presses, "That person." The soldier confirms Sora was headed to Refuge Area G. Kajura's eyes narrow, passing through Area X. The soldier adds Sora seemed unconcerned and left without hesitation. Kajura, looking grim, orders, "Contact Central Command immediately." The soldier stammers in disbelief, "See Central Command." Kajura glances at his watch. Until the scheduled time. His watch ticks ominously, 10 minutes remaining. Another soldier burst in. "I contacted them through the emergency radio." The first soldier nervously asks Kajura, "Why are we contacting Central Command?" Kajura reveals, "This mission is a little different from the ones before." He continues, "The information is highly classified, so it wasn't shared with you." As a holographic display connects, Kajura explains Area X isn't for holding back monsters. With grim intensity, He declares it's a bombing zone. The scene shifts to a bustling central command, an alert beeping. An operator urgently reports emergency communication from Area B22. Central Commander Kamagaya Renji, a level 58 flame magician, orders patch it through. The operator focuses intently, connecting the urgent call. Her fingers fly across the keyboard, rapidly establishing the link. Kajura's image appears on screen. Communication code BW3 for D2. Report from Lieutenant Kajura. Kajura urgently reports a mysterious hunter just now headed into the bombing zone. Unaware of the operation, Commander Kamagaya coolly retorts, "So, you're just reporting your failure?" On the holographic screen, Kajura stammers, "No," visibly distressed by the accusation. Back in the field, Kajura proposes, "I thought we should use the emergency broadcast to warn him." He vehemently declares he's strong. "We can't let him die like this." The Central Command operator diligently works as Kajura's plea fills the main screen. From above, Commander Kamagaya and an aide listen, Kamagaya questioning, "Hunter." Kamagaya leans forward, his expression skeptical. "What's the level?" Kajura, sweating, reluctantly admits, "Unknown." Commander Kamagaya scoffs with a dismissive ha, as Kajura's image remains on screen. Commander Kamagaya dismisses Kajura's plea, "An unknown hunter broke rules, and you want an alert." His aide coldly remarks, "He'll likely be monster food before we could even broadcast." Kamagaya chuckles, lacking brains, but quite the comedian, that Kajura. He scoffs at Kajura's competence, still needs training, can't act alone yet. Kamagaya addresses another officer, "Regarding your subordinate, I shouldn't meddle. But if I report his interference," he warns her, "you'll be accountable to." Western Commander Tonosakimi, a level 73 golem tamer, silently fumes, handicapping us now. How foolish. Kamagaya maintains his smug, confident grin, unfazed by her disapproval. Tonosaki internally reflects, but Kajura, whom I trained, is risking the mission for this stranger. Kajura's holographic image shows deep concern. Just how strong is that person? Kajura, on the hologram, wonders just how powerful their savior truly is. Commander Tonosaki stands with arms crossed, silently observing the exchange. Tonosaki addresses Kajura, "I trust you're not trying to obstruct the operation." Her gaze intensifies, "But without a good reason, you'll face a military tribunal." Kajura, under pressure, stammers, that is, clearly flustered by the threat. Tonosaki turns to Kamagaya, questioning, "Major General, is this acceptable?" Kamagaya clicks his tongue, visibly annoyed by the unfolding situation. He glares, focusing his attention back on the holographic Kajura. Kamagaya demands sternly, "Lieutenant Kajura, give us a reason we can accept." Kajura shouts, "Yes, that individual defeated a level 45 Kraken spawn in one hit." Commander Tonosaki's eye widens in disbelief. "What?" She gasped, strength surpassing in a rank. Could he be military S rank? An aide interjects, "Impossible. All S ranks are deployed elsewhere." Tonosaki presses Kajura, "Why couldn't your scouting skill determine his level?" Kajura on screen admits nervously, "Well, I couldn't see his level." Tonosaki's eyes dart in renewed surprise at this revelation. Kajura confesses, "The sheer information from scouting him overwhelmed me. I lost consciousness." Kamagaya's eyes gleam, "So, at the very least, he's level 100. The central command room falls silent as Kamagaya processes this new, shocking information. Kamagaya taps his armrest, acknowledging, indeed, an extraordinary strength. Kamagaya, eyes glinting, declares, "But we can't halt the operation for his sake." Eastern Commander Yuasa Nobuo agrees. "As soldiers, we can't abandon our duties due to uncertainties." Yuasa gestures to a map. "We have enough personnel to completely surround the bombing and buffer zones." He explains the original plan, soldiers stationed around the zone. "We're to eliminate monsters scattered asterisk after asterisk the bombing, but an alert changes everything." Yuasa warns, "The sound will attract monsters, causing them to converge, and that area would collapse instantly. The devastating consequence, hundreds of thousands of soldiers would lose their lives." Yuasa gravely states the grim calculation, sacrificing one life to save hundreds of thousands. He concludes with finality, "Even for an S-rank hunter, that's a greater risk." "I'm sorry." Kajura stares in horrified disbelief, sweat beading on his face as the decision sinks in. On the holographic screen, a female commander pauses, deep in thought. Commander Tonosaki, with a heavy heart, confirms that's the decision. She firmly rejects Kajura's plea. "Your proposal is rejected. We can't waste the efforts of hundreds of thousands for one person." Commander Kamagaya echoes from above, "This is the final decision," his voice booming. Kajura's communication device flashes, call ended, severing his desperate connection. Silence falls in Kajura's tent as the weight of the command settles. Kajura's hand tightens around his device. veins bulging with suppressed frustration. His superior officer places a comforting hand on his shoulder. "Lieutenant, we've done all we can." Kajira stands defeated, the grim reality of the situation sinking in beside his senior. The officer sighs. Indeed, the bigger picture is what's important. Kajira's eyes burn with sudden, defiant resolve. His gaze fixes on the Jeep keys dangling from his superior's belt. In a daring move, Kajira snatches the keys right from his officer. "You." His superior roars, stunned by Kajira's blatant insubordination. Kajira sprints to the Jeep, his officer yelling, "Bombing in 6 minutes, return." Behind the wheel, Kajira ignites the engine, fiercely stating, "I can still make it." The officer screams after him, "Private First Class Matsuura, returno our face court-martial." The Jeep tears down the ruined city street, leaving startled soldiers in its dust. A soldier approaches Kajira's fuming superior. "Lieutenant, should we bring him back?" The superior officer adjusts his cap, after a thoughtful pause, deciding, "No, it's fine." The superior officer states it's his decision. He's prepared for this. Kajira grips the steering wheel, determined, "I'll make it in time, no matter what." He grits his teeth, a bead of sweat tracing his temple, resolve etched on his face. A narrator reveals, at that moment, Matsuura didn't know that the man he was trying to save stood before a colossal, shadowy winged demon, would become humanity's hope. As the man's eyes glow and a monster silhouette explodes, Kajira, still driving, exclaims, "Damn, I can't trace his steps." He frantically scans the surroundings. Where on earth did he go? The Jeep's clock shows 16 hours 56 minutes and 12 seconds as Kajira thinks this path is the shortest route. He wonders, if I can't find him, does that mean he's moving faster than a car? Kajira realizes ahead lies Area X as he speeds onward. He considers a risky plan. If I use the loudspeaker, he should hear it. Kajira grits his teeth, knowing, but of course, the monsters will notice too. With the clock at 16 hours 57 minutes and 51 seconds, he grabs the mic, deciding, it doesn't matter. He takes a steadying breath, a bead of sweat on his brow. The Jeep barrels through the desolate, rubble-strewn streets. Kajira grips the loudspeaker, admitting to himself, "I'm unfit to be a soldier." Yet a steely resolve hardens his expression as he prepares to speak. His voice booms out, "I'm the soldier you saved earlier." Kajira shouts desperately into the microphone, hoping to be heard. Kajira yells into the mic, "This area will soon be bombed. Evacuate immediately." Amidst the ruins, the white-haired man hears the distant warning, "I repeat, evacuate immediately." The man, Kang Min-hyuk, registers the word with a calm expression, "Bombing?" He coolly assesses the situation, wondering, are there no hunters here? Min-hyuk stands confidently, thinking, the monsters aren't a threat at all. As a fighter jet roars overhead, he considers, but whether I can withstand the bombing is unknown. I should avoid unnecessary risks. Min-hyuk looks towards the city, acknowledging, that soldier risked his life to warn me. I can't let him die like this. Back in the Jeep, Kajira anxiously wonders, I wonder if my voice reached him. Suddenly, a winged monster swoops towards the Jeep as the clock hits 16 hours 59 minutes and 25 seconds. Kajira slams on the brakes, his eyes wide with alarm, the clock now at 16 hours 59 minutes and 32 seconds. Kajira panics, realizing, I really attracted the monsters. With the clock at 16 hours 59 minutes and 38 seconds, he grips the wheel, I have to escape quickly. He slams the accelerator, the clock now 16 hours 59 minutes and 49 seconds, desperate to flee. Kajira's resolve flickers, but he's still thinking of the man he came to save. Suddenly, a colossal monster claw lifts the Jeep, Kajira trapped inside. A tap on the window startles Kajira midair. Min-hyuk appears outside, calmly stating, I'm glad you're alive. Min-hyuk then questions Kajira, what do you mean by bombing? Kajira glances at the dash, clock at 16 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds, exclaiming, bad. The clock strikes 17 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds as Kajira yells, time's up. Fighter jets unleash a barrage of missiles upon the city. The ground erupts in a series of devastating explosions as Min-hyuk watches. Kajira cries out as the earth shatters around the Jeep and Min-hyuk. Min-hyuk braces himself, his foot firmly planted amidst the violent tremors. A colossal slab of concrete is violently thrust upwards by the force of a blast. Undeterred, Min-hyuk stands before the Jeep, shielding it as explosions rage. At command, a map confirms 100% target saturation. Major General, someone exclaims. An operator reports grimly into his headset, bombing completed. The Major General, eyes glinting, orders a drone sweep for survivors and remaining threats. Drone feeds return a chilling message, nitrogen monoxide signs of life detected. An operator at command shouts in disbelief. What? Where did the escaped monsters go? His face pales, realizing, The monsters are still in the bombing zone. He stares, horrified, exclaiming, the monsters at the center of the bombing are unscathed. The Major General slams his fist, roaring, "That's impossible," as his subordinate looks on. The female officer urgently questions, "What about footage from the drones?" The operator frantically types, sweat beading as he searches for answers. All eyes in the command center fix on the main screen, awaiting the drone feed. Drone footage reveals a massive, glowing energy dome over the blast site. This is a shield. The operator wonders, seeing a colossal monster silhouette within. Did that monster do this? But the feed zooms in, revealing Manhwa at the shield's heart. Wait a minute, that's a human. The drone feed focuses on Manhwa, a lone figure amidst the devastation. Suddenly, an urgent warning flashes. The drone was attacked by a monster. The visual feed from the drone begins to glitch and distort. Through the interference, a monstrous form is seen lunging towards the drone. The screen abruptly cuts to static, the drone's signal completely lost. On the ground, a colossal horned beast crushes the drone in its powerful grip. Back at command, an operator confirms communication with the drone has been cut off. The female officer notes with alarm, "This rush is different. What was that just now?" Her eyes widen in horrified realization. They understand we're collecting information with drones. The Major General's expression hardens, facing this new, intelligent threat. The Major General urgently commands, "Evacuate all soldiers in the garrison area." The female officer stands resolute, ready for the next crucial decision. An operator reports with alarm. Their direction isn't towards the walls. The command center buzzes with tension as everyone braces for the unknown. The female officer demands, "Then where are they heading?" The operator points to the map. It's Area B-22. She realizes with a start. That's where that mysterious hunter went. An order rings out. Send the remaining drones to Area B-22. Her eyes gleam with intensity. We need to confirm what stopped the monster's advance. Meanwhile, in Area B-22, another skyscraper crumbles amidst the devastation. Kajura, amidst the ruins, realizes with disbelief. The bombing stopped. A wave of joyous relief washes over him as he exclaims, "I survived." He laughs triumphantly, "Ha, I'm alive," while Manhwa watches calmly from behind. Manhwa sobers him. It's too early to celebrate. The monsters are still alive, adding, "They're heading this way." Manhwa's gaze sharpens, a glint of resolve in his eye. Suddenly, Manhwa shouts, "Get down," tackling Kajura as danger flashes past. Kajura spots a crashed military drone, wondering, did the monsters attack the drone? He stares in shock, muttering, "This has never happened before." As Manhwa observes, Manhwa coolly advises, "Save the surprise for later." A colossal, monstrous foot slams down nearby, shaking the ground violently. Manhwa points towards the jeep, urging Kajura, and run, as monsters swarm the ruined city. Kajura's face contorts in sheer terror at the approaching horde. He stares as countless monsters, led by a towering level 90 figure, emerge from the dust. Kajura gasps, they're the highest level group in this rush, and the rush's leader is level 90. His hope shatters. They didn't get even a scratch after the bombing. We're done for. As Kajura despairs, Manhwa calmly interjects, "We're unscathed too. If the bombing can't kill it." Manhwa's eyes blaze with purple light, a confident smirk playing on his lips. "Then I'll just beat it to death." He orders Kajura, "Hide in the car," then launches himself towards the monstrous onslaught. Manhwa, wreathed in dark energy, tears through the lesser monsters with blinding speed and power. The level 90 monster leader watches impassively as Manhwa carves a path towards it. The monster leader slams its massive fist down, aiming to crush Manhwa. Manhwa, eyes glowing fiercely, reappears untouched, having dodged the devastating blow. The level 90 behemoth registers surprise at the human's impossible speed. With a burst of movement, Manhwa streaks towards the colossal monster. He leaps high, a dark silhouette arcing towards the monster leader's head. The monster's eye reflects Manhwa's rapidly descending form, a glint of doom. Manhwa winds up, his fist crackling with concentrated dark energy. His powerful strike connects directly with the monster's skull, creating a shock wave. The monster's head erupts in a shower of dark matter as Manhwa lands atop it. Manhwa stands coolly on the reeling giant, facing its stunned, damaged form. From atop the fallen beast, Manhwa senses a new, ominous presence behind him. He turns, shocked, exclaiming, "I didn't even sense his presence." The mysterious cloaked figure, eyes glowing purple, utters a single phrase, "The Abyss Seed." Dark tendrils of energy erupt violently from the defeated monster's corpse. The swirling energy coalesces, forming a pulsating, glowing core in the cloaked figure's grasp. Finally, the figure murmurs, its attention fixed on the retrieved object. The cloaked entity secures the Abyss Seed, its dark aura intensifying. With a sinister grin, the figure faces Manhwa, declaring, "I found you." The entity, revealing a more monstrous form, snarls, Give me back my thing, thief. Min-hyuk, unfazed but confused, retorts, what are you talking about? The cloaked figure accuses Min-hyuk, the crime of taking advantage of others' strength. It unleashes a torrent of dark spikes, roaring, pay for it with your life. Razor-sharp tendrils of dark energy erupt, narrowly missing Min-hyuk. Min-hyuk, with glowing eyes, effortlessly snatches one of the deadly projectiles. He calmly assesses the attack, stating, at this level, the captured dark energy solidifies in his grasp, forming a menacing spear. Min-hyuk defiantly declares to his assailant, you can't kill me. He stands firm, wielding the newly acquired dark spear with confidence. Suddenly, the cloaked figure looks up, its attention drawn by an approaching sound. Military drones rapidly descend from the sky, zeroing in on the confrontation. The cloaked figure glances skyward as a drone hovers ominously. It scoffs. The one watching me was Odin's crow. No, it's a counterfeit made by humans. Min-hyuk shouts oi, grabbing the figure's attention. With glowing eyes, Min-hyuk taunts, if you really want to kill me, then come at me seriously, he roars, lunging with the dark spear. Min-hyuk descends rapidly, spear aimed directly at his foe. The dark spear slams into the cloaked figure, causing a violent impact. His weapon pierces deep into the mysterious entity's form. Min-hyuk looks around, bewildered as the figure vanishes. He disappeared. The cloaked figure's disembodied voice echoes, it's unpleasant being monitored by lowly humans. The cloaked figure's shadowy form dissipates into the ground, leaving only tendrils. Reforming, the figure scoffs at the sky. It's such a low-level creation. It glares with contempt, hand outstretched. It makes me sick. Suddenly, winged, demonic creatures burst forth, soaring into the sky. The cloaked figure commands its new minions, get rid of all the guards around us. Elsewhere, inside a battered building, someone watches the chaos unfold. A masked operative curses as a winged monster destroys a drone. Damn it, they destroyed the drone. He grips his device, determined, but we need to finish this mission. His screen shows Min-hyuk standing alone. The monsters change their course because of him. The operative's eyes widen in disbelief. That hunter jumped in alone to stop them. The operative kneels, declaring, I need to report him to the commander. Suddenly, a loud banging from a nearby door startles the operative. A monstrous creature bursts through the wall, its tendrils reaching as the operative shouts, they found me. The cloaked figure watches its minions attack a distant building. A dramatic sound effect emphasizing the chaos. A chilling ha-ha-ha erupts from the cloaked figure, reveling in the destruction. With glowing eyes, the figure commands its shadowy minions, kill them all. Min-hyuk, scarred and resolute, observes the escalating pandemonium. A flashback shows a soldier telling Min-hyuk, you look like a strong hunter. I'm sure you'll save lots of people. The same soldier, now in a jeep, urgently warns Min-hyuk, this area is going to be bombed soon. The soldier's jeep gets stuck in the rubble, exclaiming, damn it, something's stuck. Min-hyuk clicks his tongue, his resolve hardening. He leaps towards the colossal cloaked figure, shouting, I'll start the hunt with the boss. Min-hyuk thinks, I need to kill him fast to save as many people as possible. A whirlwind of motion surrounds Min-hyuk as he prepares his next move. The cloaked figure, its eye blazing red, senses Min-hyuk's determined approach. A massive shadowy limb smashes the ground where Min-hyuk just was, who deftly evades. Min-hyuk, eyes glowing, notes, the monster's attack rose after fusing with him. He lands firmly, dark energy crackling around his feet as he braces. The cloaked figure, emerging from shadows, sneers, you're persistent. Min-hyuk stares, noticing a change. How he looks. Min-hyuk realizes the figure now wields a colossal dark sword, thinking, just like me. The cloaked figure's eye widens, sensing the sword's immense, dangerous energy. It raises the dark blade, roaring abyss seed. I'll kill you. The massive sword crashes down towards Min-hyuk as the figure screams, this is your destiny. Min-hyuk, with incredible strength, intercepts the colossal blade with his forearm. He clenches his fist, shockingly halting the dark sword's powerful descent. Min-hyuk's eyes blaze as he overpowers the dark energy, gripping the sword tightly. Now in command, Min-hyuk hefts the captured dark sword, its power his to wield. His face set with fierce resolve, Min-hyuk prepares to unleash the weapon's might. Min-hyuk swings the enormous dark sword, carving a devastating arc of energy. The cloaked figure recoils, exclaiming, damn it, that was nullified too. Min-hyuk, wielding the dark sword, senses a strange energy fluctuation. Wondering, what just happened? He realizes with a grim expression, it's the same as the power of the abyss. The cloaked figure's form seems to shift and swirl, its tattered cloak billowing ominously. It glares intensely, taunting Min-hyuk, is taking away others' weapons the only thing you can do. From afar, the cloaked figure extends a hand, and the dark sword begins to react. The sword disintegrates from Min-hyuk's grasp, as he muses. Looks like the power of the abyss can do more than I thought. Manhwa glances at the stuck jeep, deciding, I need to get the soldier somewhere safe first. He turns to the soldier, asking casually, are you good with heights? To which the soldier hesitantly agrees. The soldier's eyes widen in terror, uttering a shocked as an unseen event unfolds. The jeep is suddenly yanked upwards with a powerful whoosh. Manhwa, effortlessly holding the vehicle, declares to the soldier, let's fly. The cloaked figure rages, you idiot, don't underestimate the abyss power as a dark sphere forms. The ominous sphere of dark energy rapidly expands, crackling with destructive force. They exist to become the strongest, the figure proclaims as Manhwa carries the jeep away. The dark energy projectile hurtles towards Manhwa and the jeep, the figure screaming, so die with that weakling. Manhwa, glancing back at the speeding attack, grimly notes, he's fast. After setting the jeep down, he realizes he'll catch up even if I run in that case. Manhwa launches himself towards the incoming dark sphere, yelling, I'll destroy you. Dark energy surges around Manhwa's fist as he prepares to meet the attack head-on. Manhwa's fist smashes into the dark sphere. He questions, did I succeed? The sphere remains intact. He realizes with dread, no, that did nothing. That's his main body. Shit, Manhwa exclaims, thrown back by the orb's sheer power. Below, dark tendrils shoot from the ground, targeting the vulnerable jeep. Airborne, Manhwa screams a warning to the soldier, get out of the car. The soldier panics, don't come, as a chilling voice says, don't be scared. The cloaked figure's eye burns with a cold, calculating light. Let me send you home, it sneers as shadowy limbs lift the jeep. Manhwa watches, aghast, as the jeep is captured, damn it. The cloaked figure stands above the trapped vehicle, coolly asking, are you angry? Don't be so hasty. Manhwa silently endures as dark tendrils pierce his body. The cloaked figure reveals the soldier, impaled yet alive, stating, he's not dead yet. With a chilling laugh, the figure uses necromancy, making the fallen soldier eerily smile. Everyone you care about will die. The figure taunts, declaring this Manhwa's destiny. Manhwa glares upwards, trapped by encroaching shadowy spikes. His jaw tightens, a single word escaping his lips, you. A painful memory surfaces. A younger Manhwa, choked, asked if he enjoys crushing dignity. The cloaked figure chuckles, conjuring a jagged obsidian shard in its palm. You do understand me. It screams, unleashing a devastating obsidian storm. Shards tear through Manhwa, drawing blood as he grimly acknowledges, I see. The jeep, with the figure and soldier atop, is violently propelled upwards by shadowy tendrils. Manhwa, watching from below, clenches his fist, snarling, trash like you. His face contorts with utter disgust as he finishes, make me vomit. The vehicle, along with the cloaked figure and the soldier, now plummets rapidly towards the ground. With explosive power, Manhwa launches himself skyward, aiming to intercept the fall. A close-up reveals Manhwa's fiercely determined expression, teeth gritted in resolve. He collides with the cloaked figure midair, blood erupting as they both tumble towards the jeep. The reanimated soldier, its eyes blazing a sinister red, turns its horrifying grin towards Manhwa. Dark energy lashes out as the puppeted soldier lunges, catching an unprepared Manhwa. Inside the jeep, another soldier frantically pounds on the window, trapped and terrified. Manhwa crashes to the ground, realizing the soldier was caught in the crossfire. He glares at the distant cloaked figure, a new resolve hardening his gaze. Manhwa explodes forward, launching a desperate attack against his tormentor. His punch lands, but the cloaked figure scoffs, it's useless, as dark energy swirls. The figure looms over Manhwa, mocking, a rookie who can't even use the abyss's power. Defeating me, the figure sneers, its confidence unwavering, SNT. Suddenly, the cloaked figure is blasted sky-high by an unexpected force. Manhwa watches it fly, coldly stating, you're not my opponent. He slams his fist down, blood splattering, a surge of raw power emanating from him. Manhwa stares in disbelief, no way, as a colossal shadowy entity emerges. The cloaked figure reels back in shock, exclaiming, you gave me damage. Manhwa's voice echoes, humans grow, idiot, as his power surges. He unleashes a devastating punch, sending the cloaked figure flying. The cloaked figure, battered and bleeding, realizes with horror, this is bad. A brutal impact craters the ground as the figure is slammed down hard. Stunned, the figure questions how Manhwa can control abyss power just by seeing it. As the colossal entity moves, the cloaked figure desperately yells, where are you going? Manhwa launches himself at the massive shadow, ignoring the figure's plight. The colossal shadow smashes the cloaked figure, who admits, you're tougher than I thought. Manhwa, eyes blazing, declares, but even if you run, you can't escape. Manhwa vows, as the colossal shadow roars, this big thing can't. The massive entity towers over the ruined cityscape, its sheer scale terrifying. Minhyuk leaps towards it, the cloaked figure realizing he's trying to use the same technique again. His focus narrows, identifying his target, the main body's core. Minhyuk strains, reaching through swirling darkness, his hand grasping for the core. Surrounded by a maelstrom of tendrils, he defiantly yells, "I'll crush it." The tendrils ensnare him, a desperate thought flashing, no way. Suddenly, a brilliant explosion erupts, tearing through the shadowy restraints. Minhyuk plummets through the dissipating blast, the colossal entity reeling. His eye glows with renewed power, a chilling promise in his thoughts. The next one. Minhyuk, from above, identifies his true target. Is you? As the cloaked figure looks up. Enraged, the cloaked figure gathers dark energy, screaming, "Damn it. I'll remember this." Its eyes blaze red as it unleashes a desperate technique. Shadow Unity. Monstrous shadow beast, teeth bared and eyes glowing, materialize around the figure. Winged and terrestrial shadow creatures swarm, summoned by the figure's command. The beast and dark energy converge, forming a chaotic, swirling vortex on the ground. Red tendrils of shadow energy whip violently, obscuring the battlefield in a dark storm. Minhyuk stands resolute, bracing himself as the shadowy onslaught rushes towards him. His eye gleams with purple light, unfazed by the terrifying display of power. The maelstrom subsides, leaving Minhyuk alone amidst the ruins, observing the aftermath. Minhyuk realizes he used that big of a technique just to escape. He discards his tattered cloak, noting, "Damn, my clothes are in pieces." Pulling out a photograph, he murmurs, "I'm glad Dad and Mom's photo is still safe." Minhyuk then approaches the jeep, finding the soldier lifeless inside. He somberly considers his family must be waiting for him. Minhyuk carefully removes the soldier's dog tags. The soldier lies still on the ground, his duty tragically ended. Clutching the tags, Minhyuk vows, "I'll take you home with me." His senses sharpen. There's no way that Shadow Guy is done yet. He absorbs so many enemy shadows. He should be able to attack at any time. The cloaked figure's chilling voice echoes in his mind. "Everyone you care about will die right in front of you." As Minhyuk thinks, wait. Minhyuk realizes the cloaked figure's taunt about destiny means he's targeting the evacuation center. He sprints desperately, determined to reach the evacuation center before his enemy. Amidst the ruins, a sleek, futuristic drone lies ready for deployment. The drone activates, launching into the sky above the devastated city. A stern-faced commander orders her drone squad to meticulously search the district. Soldiers carefully advance through the rubble under the commander's watch. The search teams navigate the treacherous, debris-strewn landscape. A soldier urgently reports to his chief, "The monsters around us are already." The commander, observing the situation, gravely confirms, "Yes, I see it." Her expression hardens as she mutters, "All of them," realizing the scale of the threat. "We're defeated," the commander concludes, surveying the silent, monster-strewn ruins. Lifeless husks of colossal beasts litter the devastated urban landscape. She orders her soldier, "Search for any remaining drones, report anything you find." The commander notes obvious traces of a fierce battle, recalling reports of a strong hunter. Did he wipe them all out while moving? She wonders, astonished. A soldier calls out, "Chief," having discovered a downed drone amidst the rubble. "This drone's storage device is still good. I'll extract its footage now," he exclaims. The commander takes the data retrieval unit, intent on viewing the drone's last recording. Drone footage reveals Private Matsuura and, crucially, the strong hunter entering the zone. Soldiers stand guard as the team begins to piece together the events from the recovered footage. A soldier stares in awe at a purple glow, muttering, "This is..." A system notification reveals a special energy potion that permanently boosts magic limits. More loot appears, and a class ancient royal dagger and an unidentifiable ornate box. Another soldier spots him from above, demanding, "Oi, what did you find?" The soldier nervously tries to conceal the items, stammering, "And nothing." As his superior shouts, "Don't lie." The superior officer confronts the soldier, who gasps, "You," as he's caught. The officer smirks, holding the glowing box, looks like the leader of the rush-dropped rare items. His eyes gleam menacingly. "It's a serious crime to take unique items for personal use, do you get it?" The caught soldier stands speechless, clutching the valuable box and dagger. The officer, now holding the dagger, slyly asks, "How should we split these?" The officer smirks, telling the soldier, "Hey, calm down. I just want this one," the officer declares, pointing at the ornate box, but the soldier shouts, "No." The soldier grips the box, realizing, this looks like a box with legendary items. "Don't get me wrong, rookie," the officer sneers, grabbing him. "You don't have the right to choose." The officer chuckles Keki, now possessing the box as the defeated soldier walks away. His eyes blazing red, the officer gloats, "I finally have it, the golem's relic." Meanwhile, Minhyuk sprints desperately towards the fortified entrance of Shelter 6. Min-hyuk, panting but resolute, thinks, I'm finally here as he approaches the shelter. He observes a massive turret gun overlooking the area, noting, looks like. Two soldiers stand guard vigilantly on a rooftop near the heavy artillery. Min-hyuk assesses the shelter, noting, there's no raid happening yet. The shelter entrance appears calm, with people and vehicles moving normally. Inside, a burly hunter curiously eyes a purple-haired individual. Min-hyuk, shirtless and battle-scarred, strides through the shelter, drawing surprised stares. He scans for the cloaked figure, thinking, there's no sign of him, far from it. Min-hyuk observes, it looks like there are no strong people here. But this place will be destroyed if there are no strong people here. Suddenly, a figure in a wide-brimmed hat appears silently behind a startled Min-hyuk. Min-hyuk glances back, wondering about the newcomer's perception. Is he blind? The blindfolded man smiles faintly. Such a strong smell of blood. Are you from outside? Min-hyuk confirms grimly. That's right. The blindfolded man chuckles. How, is that so? Then it's all good. He offers payment. I just want to buy information about the outside from you, Your Excellency. With a smile, he adds, if you have what I want, I'll be happy. Min-hyuk accepts the currency, asking, is this the currency used here? All right, I'll tell you. Great, the man replies, then pauses, but before that, his expression turns serious. I want to know one thing. Min-hyuk questions, Monk, why did you call me Your Excellency? You're a fake one. The man laughs nervously, ha, you saw right through me. This outfit is just a hobby. Min-hyuk presses further, then, is hiding your eyes a hobby too? Sweating, the blindfolded man thinks with a strained smile, ha, oh, he's a pain. The blindfolded man sweats, claiming, I got an eye condition recently. Min-hyuk thinks, no, even with his eyes covered, I can see a terrifying light. He deduces he's clearly hiding his power. A tiger in sheep's clothing is in the shelter. Min-hyuk asks, so, what do you want to know? As the man replies, oh, it's finally my turn. The man reveals, I want to know what's happening outside. Soldiers and weapons are stationed on the wall. He observes rows of soldiers and artillery. It looks like they're preparing for battle. But the civilians haven't noticed a thing. He adds, I heard an explosion from outside. The man presses Min-hyuk, so, can you tell me what happened? Min-hyuk begins, I was just relieving myself when I heard an explosion from the southwest. He laughs awkwardly. I got so scared I came out without clothes because I forgot the paper. Ha! Min-hyuk smirks, realizing he's hiding his ability like me. The blindfolded man thanks him. So it's from the southwest. Thank you. You've been a big help. As the man departs, Min-hyuk notes. He's headed to the fallen area after getting the general direction. Min-hyuk considers, how many strong people like him are here? Looks like I can't make drastic moves. He muses, more importantly, they're letting someone shady like me run around. Shirtless and scarred, Min-hyuk continues to walk through the seemingly calm shelter. He wonders, observing the soldiers, are their guards down because we have a common enemy? A shopfront named Mia is shown, with a polite come again from inside. Now fully clothed in a stylish coat, Min-hyuk thinks, I bought clothes with the money that Monk gave me. Standing amidst the city buildings, Min-hyuk contemplates his next move. Now, Min-hyuk, now clothed, resolves, I need to find my parents. He pulls out a family photo, deciding, let's try doing this the normal way first. Min-hyuk approaches a woman from behind, politely saying, excuse me. He shows her the photo, asking, have you seen the couple in this photo? The woman gasps, her eyes wide with sudden fear and recognition. I don't know, she stammers, hastily walking away from Min-hyuk. Min-hyuk wonders, why did she look like she saw a ghost? A tough-looking man shouts at him. As Min-hyuk thinks, guess I have no choice but to ask that guy. The burly man calls out aggressively, oi, the brat over there. Min-hyuk turns, his eyes glowing ominously, and asks simply, what? The burly man glares, sweat dripping, and declares they're not here. He aggressively points, accusing Min-hyuk. What era are you from? Picking up girls in the middle of the night with photos? Min-hyuk calmly presents the photo, asking, you know them, while the man scoffs. Suddenly, the man's demeanor shifts to shock. Hey, you. Why do you have that photo? He leans in, eyes narrowed, demanding, you, what's your relationship with them? Min-hyuk looks at him steadily, revealing, I'm their son. The man stares, a flashback to a younger Min-hyuk in the photo, exclaiming, why, you're him. Enraged, the man lunges forward, shouting, are you making fun of me? Suddenly, a vehicle screeches into frame, its tires kicking up dust. Min-hyuk stands unfazed, photo in hand, as the burly man is violently struck by the speeding car. The burly man is sent flying by the impact, debris scattering everywhere. He looks utterly stunned, exclaiming, huh, as glass shards fly past. A brutal thud as the man crashes, the force of the collision evident. The driver steps out coolly, adjusting his collar. I didn't hear you. Say it again. The burly man, now on the ground, stammers nervously. His fear turns to recognition. Atio. It's been ages. He quickly changes his tune, pointing at Manhwa with a forced, wide grin. Well, those to live straight up this road. The man reveals, gesturing ahead. Manhwa turns to leave, saying, thanks, as the man replies, no worries. Suddenly panicked, the man sprints off, shouting, we're in trouble. We need to get everyone together. Manhwa walks, pondering, a thug like that knows my parents. Well, Dad was kind to everyone. He recalls his father's friendly nature, even towards imposing figures. With a younger Manhwa observing, Manhwa remembers his mother was just as kind, worrying they'd be losers in this world. But now, with a confident smirk, he resolves they'll be fine now that I'm here. Manhwa continues down the indicated path, hands in his pockets. He stops, looking down at the entrance to a property, murmuring, this is. Before him stands a traditional house, and he wonders, the two of them live here? He considers the quiet neighborhood. Well, the population is on the decline, and there are too many houses. Manhwa knocks, and a familiar voice asks, are you done with work today? He instantly recognizes. It's Dad's voice. The door opens, revealing his father, who smiles warmly and exclaims, welcome back. Manhwa looks slightly bewildered, a bead of sweat on his temple. His father stares down, utterly confused, demanding, who are you? The father mutters Sora as Manhwa watches, his expression unreadable. Manhwa confirms with a faint smile, I'm Sora. His father's eyes widen in complete disbelief. An awkward silence hangs as Manhwa and his father sit across from each other. Manhwa's mother enters gracefully with a tray, apologizing, sorry to keep you waiting. She observes the silent pair, asking if they've spoken. As the father admits this, Sora is vastly different. Suddenly, the father grins, declaring, in times like this, what he needs is this. As his wife looks on, startled, Manhwa, a scar visible, eyes his father cautiously, asking, what's that? The father leans in, whispering, of course, it's a secret just between us, while internally vowing not to be disgraced. His father's intense gaze reveals a hidden thought. If he says anything suspicious, arrest him immediately. From the shadows above, a hooded subordinate acknowledges the silent order. Watching Manhwa intently, Manhwa glances up, a slight smile playing on his lips. One of Dad's subordinates still seems cautious. He then faces his father, but with security this tight, it's reassuring. So, what now? Manhwa smirks deviously, thinking, take care, subordinate. You're about to hear something you shouldn't. Dad used to go to, Manhwa begins as his mother sips tea. The housewives support group every week for cooking lessons. The father's eyes widen in sheer panic, sweat beading as he thinks, how does he know that? Brandishing a knife and a tomato, the father exclaims, the housewives support group. As the hidden subordinate looks on, stunned, Manhwa continues, his smirk widening, and then he secretly attended ballet classes every week, hiding it from my brother and me. The subordinate recoils, a vision of the burly father in a tutu flashing through his mind. Hidden in the rafters, the subordinate silently processes the shocking ballet revelation. The father's face darkens, a silent, expressing his utter disbelief and rising anger. The subordinate mouths, his eyes wide with confusion at the unexpected secret. The father slams the table, jolting upright as Manhwa watches coolly. Even someone else could know that. The father stammers, trying to downplay the secret. Manhwa grins, then, shall we talk about things at home? The father leans in, sweating. Yes, do you know? His voice a mix of hope and dread. Of course, Manhwa confirms with a knowing smirk, adding, don't regret it later. Beads of sweat roll down the father's face as he nervously demands, SAIT. Manhwa gestures towards a displayed sword, declaring, that Japanese sword is a replica. The hidden subordinate reacts with surprise, thinking, a replica? Don't be ridiculous. Give proof. The father shouts as Manhwa calmly asks, proof. Manhwa stands, revealing, there's a bite mark from my brother on the hilt, shocking his father. The subordinate recalls a brutal memory. Isn't that the bite mark from when the head, with his hands tied, bit the sword and killed 38 people? With a swift motion, Manhwa unsheathes the sword, the blade gleaming. The subordinate narrows his eyes. HMPH, your goal is to lower our guard and kill the head, right? A close-up shows the sword's blade subtly warping in Manhwa's grasp. Manhwa smirks, it extends and contracts as the sword visibly stretches. His expression darkens. Manhwa glares and exclaims, you idiot. Manhwa looks down, a subtle smirk on his lips after a sharp remark. Suddenly, his father lunges forward, embracing Manhwa tightly, exclaiming, I thought you were dead. Tears stream down the father's face as he cries out, Sora, Sora has returned. We were so worried. The father sobs, while Minhyuk, surprised, utters, Dad. Minhyuk reflects, while gathering information everywhere to find you. I unknowingly became the boss. As his father weeps, Minhyuk thinks how embarrassing, then asks, Can you bring down the guy up there? The hidden subordinate looks on, utterly shocked, thinking, the head as always. He recalls his fearsome boss, bloodied and fierce, remembering he lived through a rain of blood. Witnessing the emotional reunion, the subordinate thinks, this kind of scene, it's the first time I've seen it. The subordinate panics internally, this is bad. I've seen the head who values face. In such a state, the subordinate sweats, realizing the danger of what he's witnessed. He scrambles to escape, terrified the head will silence him for seeing too much. Suddenly, a strong hand grips his arm, and he cries out, Wait. Minhyuk grins, holding him fast, announcing, Dad wants to talk. Now, the terrified subordinate kneels before the family, an awkward silence filling the room. The father glares, Ochiai, you're known for being the most loose-lipped among my guards. Minhyuk smirks deviously, adding, If anyone finds out about this. The father finishes, pointing, It's your responsibility, as Ochiai trembles. Ochiai, head bowed low, desperately vows, I will never tell. Minhyuk and his father loom over him with sinister glares, making Ochiai realize, no doubt, they are father and son. The mother calmly sips her tea. Okay, don't threaten him. Ochiai looks up, eyes sparkling with gratitude, Madam. She smiles kindly, adding, But you absolutely must not tell anyone. Ochiai bows deeply once more, affirming, Yes. The father blurts out, Glad no one mentioned I snore and fart while sleeping. As his wife glares, Minhyuk smirks, a scar visible, thinking, I truly feel like I've returned from the abyss. Looking at his parents, Minhyuk quietly states, I'm back. A close-up reveals Minhyuk's sharp, determined gaze. Suddenly, a subordinate bursts through the door, shouting, Boss. He points accusingly at Minhyuk, the white-haired brat. His armed thugs appear behind him. The family faces the doorway, where a subordinate stands defiantly before his armed crew. Minhyuk smirks coolly, asking, White-haired brat, you mean me? The lead subordinate stammers, as Minhyuk casually drapes an arm over him. Terror flashes across the subordinate's face as he screams, It's him. He rallies his men, You might be strong, but we've got the numbers. The subordinate accuses Minhyuk, trying to mess with our boss. Are you with Koshu Tigerhowl? Minhyuk, still seated, swiftly seizes the subordinate's arm and leg. His eyes glow intensely as he effortlessly overpowers the surprised thug. Minhyuk turns the subdued subordinate towards his parents. Dad, introduce me to your guys. The father proudly announces to his men, This is my son, Sora, returned after 5 years. The father sips his tea, calmly thinking his level is. Suddenly, he panics. Wait, I don't even know Sora's level. Minhyuk coolly declares, I don't have a system, shocking the thugs. A burly subordinate questions, You survived in the fallen zone for 5 years without a system. The bandaged thug stammers, Without it. Minhyuk smirks, explaining, No matter how much you train, you can't go past level 10. The thugs murmur, confused, He's strong but he's just a rookie with no system. The captured subordinate laughs nervously, This must be a mistake. He internally doubts, but he took that shock earlier without a scratch, if he's really a rookie. Minhyuk stands impassively, a silent intensity in his gaze. Minhyuk smirks, Want to use your system to check my level? The bandaged subordinate stammers, utterly confused by the challenge. Minhyuk elaborates, I see. If you don't have a system, you wouldn't know stuff like this. The subordinate explains, with a system, you can see monster levels, pointing to a chibi diagram. A chibi graphic shows Minhyuk as level 0, deflecting a skin attempt. The subordinate clarifies, but without the scout skill, you can't see other people's levels. He adds, only a few awake can have that rare skill. And by the way, the boss has it. Minhyuk turns to his father confidently, Then check me out, Dad. Minhyuk thinks intently, I hope this gives us some clues about the abyss. The father points, preparing to skin Minhyuk as everyone watches with anticipation. Minhyuk turns to his mother, asking, Don't you want to see, Mom? She smiles gently, More than that, I just want to stay close to you. Besides, I already know. The father attempts the scan, but exclaims, What is this? As a strange blue interface appears. He stares intently at Minhyuk, No matter how many times I try, as the system prompt hovers. The father declares, frustrated, I can't get any info at all. He narrows his eyes, thinking, only to possible reasons. 1. Sora has no system so it can't be seen. And the other is his levels so high, it's out of my access range. As the thugs listen, stunned, The father muses, but even without a system, I can still see his name recalling a younger Sora. He glances at Minhyuk and his wife, and Sora survived alone for 5 years. If he were a real rookie, he'd be long dead. Minhyuk's face darkens as his father wonders, so his levels way beyond what I can detect. Sora, what the hell did you go through in these 5 years? The mother gently tells Minhyuk, if that's true, then shouldn't we be glad? She smiles warmly, affirming, Sora's a strong kid. Caressing his scarred cheek, she adds, he must have gone through a lot just to make it back. Minhyuk looks at her, deeply moved, uttering, Mom. Flashbacks of his brutal past flicker as his mother's touch brings back memories. A single tear escapes Minhyuk's eye, reflecting his pain and relief. He embraces his mother tightly, whispering, I'm fine, I made it home, so. As his mother cries, Minhyuk finishes, don't cry, Mom. The father watches them, his own eyes welling up, the system interface fading. In the background, Ochiai awkwardly tells his men, come on now. As the family shares a tender moment, Ochiai awkwardly tells his men, it's a sweet reunion, so let's give them space. The father, still emotional, slides open a shoji screen, a sound effect emphasizing the movement. He then asks Ochiai, by the way, what about Jiro and the others? They left 2 hours ago, then still aren't back. Minhyuk, now seated with his mother, suddenly asks, oh yeah, Mom, what about Big Brother? A bead of sweat rolls down Minhyuk's temple as he thinks with dread, don't tell me. His mother reassures him, it's fine, he just doesn't come home much cause he's in the military. She shows Minhyuk a photo of his brother in uniform on her phone, now you're back. So I'll call him. He's always on the front lines like he's out for revenge on your enemies. Minhyuk looks at the photo, a brief flashback showing him and his brother as kids, murmuring, I see. I haven't seen him in so long. He then curiously asks his mother, who's still looking at her phone, are you pretty high-ranking here, Mom? She glances up with a subtle smile, replying, I've got a position. She reveals, but what really earns their trust is that I'm a cleric, the ultimate healer with prophecies and support. Minhyuk, surprised, asks, does being a cleric mean you can see my status? His mother smiles, no, I don't have skills that let me see that. As Minhyuk wonders, then why? Gently touching his cheek, she explains, like I said, clerics have prophecy skills. She beams at a tearful Minhyuk, I always knew you'd come back one day. The scene shifts to a moonlit night, with a knocking sound at the shoji screen. Ochiai, wearing sunglasses, slides the screen open cautiously. Who's there, HM? Suddenly, a group of men in suits burst in, exclaiming, HMPH Vice Captain. A formidable, scarred man with long hair and an intense gaze appears. The men stand ready as he enters. A caption identifying him, Union Guild Vice Captain Iwashima Jiro. Welcome back. Ochiai, with a slight smile, asks Jiro, HM, why the long face? Jiro, looking grim, questions Ochiai, something happened. You had someone investigate secretly. What's the result? Jiro confirms Ochia's suspicions, just as you predicted. The Tiger Roar Guild is tied to the military. One of Jiru's men explains the military nitpicked their monster corpse delivery, rejecting some as too damaged. He reveals they were shortchanged on points, which were then funneled straight to the Tiger Roar Guild. Ochiai looks genuinely surprised by this revelation, muttering, that really happened. Ochiai thinks grimly, Tiger Roar always stayed neutral. If they're pulling this, something's up. We can't let this slide. Jiro, however, calmly tells Ochiai, anyway, first is eat and rest. Ochiai, eyes glinting as a blue ethereal sword materializes, declares, I'll go to Tiger Roar later. I'll settle things. With his hand on his katana, and eyes glowing fiercely, Ochiai vows, time to show them the Union Guild doesn't play nice. Minhyuk's gaze hardens as he mutters, Tiger Roar. He reflects on his new power, realizing Kagawa and the robbers are also linked to Tiger Roar. A sense of dread washes over Minhyuk. His father is heading into a dangerous confrontation. Minhyuk decisively slides open the shoji screen, revealing Ochiai and Jiro. With determination, Minhyuk announces to his father, Dad, I'm coming with you. One of Ochia's men smirks, seeing this as a test of Minhyuk's true strength. Jiro looks utterly perplexed by Minhyuk's sudden appearance and declaration. Ochiai gestures towards Minhyuk, who stands resolute with his mother, ready to introduce him. Let me introduce my son, Sora, Ochiai declares, missing for 5 years in the Fallen Zone. Jiro is stunned. Ochiai continues with a sly smile. Sora is hinting at something significant. Ochiai drops a bombshell to Jiro. He doesn't have a system. Jiro scoffs, so just a normal person, doubting Sora's miraculous Fallen Zone survival. Minhyuk stands coolly as Jiro internally dismisses him. Without job skills, he'd just be a liability. Jiro advises Ochiai, Great, he's back, but he must be exhausted. Maybe he should sit this one out. Ochiai agrees, gently telling his son, "Yeah, you're right, Sora, stay home with your mother." Minhyuk's mother chimes in supportively, "That's right. We haven't even shown him around the house yet." Minhyuk internally acknowledges their doubts, so they think I'm dead weight. Makes sense without a system. A subtle dark aura surrounds Minhyuk as he resolves, I should hide my power for now. Minhyuk calmly accepts, fine, leaving Jiru and his men visibly surprised. One of Jiru's men looks disappointed, thinking, I missed the chance to show what I can do. Ochiayu rallies his men with a determined let's go. As they eagerly respond, yeah. The Union Guild members march purposefully down a corridor, ready for action. Minhyuk's mother comforts him. Don't let it bother you. He's just worried about you. She explains Ochia's protectiveness, now that you're back. He doesn't want you facing danger again. As Minhyuk starts to protest, but his mother smiles reassuringly. It's okay, he's strong so he'll be fine. His prophecies said he'll come back safe. Minhyuk, touched but still resolute, wipes a tear. All right, I'm not a kid anymore. He internally acknowledges the ongoing threat. Clashes between Dad and the military-backed Tiger Roar are inevitable. Minhyuk turns to his mother, seeking answers. What's the situation here? Why is Tiger Roar our enemy? She begins to explain the post-apocalyptic world. Awaken once formed hunter guilds. And Dad founded Union Guild here to find you, partnering with the military. His mother proudly recounts. Union Guild grew because people believed in Dad's motto, we fight to reunite families. His mother explains Union handles security and resources, while the military does raids and tower clears, noting Ochia's kindness spared his men from raids. She continues, that's how we kept the peace for years. As Minhyuk listens, her expression darkens, but a few months ago, Tiger Roar, a major guild from Shelter 4, opened a branch here. And ever since, she reveals with shadowy figures behind her, we've had constant trouble with them. Minhyuk, with a serious look, questions, why doesn't the military intervene? He explains the enemies keep getting stronger, so the military can't handle them alone. Tiger Roar's immense power in clearing towers makes the military reliant on them. His mother adds, tower rewards are insanely good, even the military can't ignore them. Plus, Tiger Roar has an awakened one chosen by the tower's deity. A formidable, godlike figure appears as she reveals, Esra, the one chosen by the tower god, is Tiger Roar's trump card. Minhyuk, taken aback, mutters, a tower's deity? She clarifies, the ruler of the tower is so overwhelmingly powerful, it's basically divine. Pass the trial and you become an Esra, blessed by the god. His mother explains Esra act as the god's agents outside the tower and guardians inside. Noting Tiger Roar has the most, she reveals each Esra is incredibly strong, allowing Tiger Roar to rapidly absorb other guilds. With a sigh, she admits Union Guild, though loved, has never cleared a tower and lacks an Esra, making things difficult. Minhyuk acknowledges with a grimace, sounds like a tough situation. He then questions, if Union Guild is so loved, why do you act like a bunch of Yakuza? His mother looks surprised. His mother smiles slyly, hand to her chin, confessing, it's just my personal taste. She lets out a soft chuckle, fufufu, as Minhyuk looks on with a deadpan expression. Gesturing broadly, she adds, everyone's so full of life. That's what matters. She then cheerfully tells Minhyuk, come on now, you must be tired so go take a bath. As Minhyuk looks flustered, his mother playfully teases from behind a screen. And if you want me to wash your back, just say the word, causing him to stammer. Minhyuk stands alone in a spacious room, musing, all grown up now. A dark aura flickers around Minhyuk as he closes his eyes, deep in thought. Sensing his mother is left, Minhyuk's glowing form stands ready. All right, she's gone. He gazes out the window at the dark city, realizing, I didn't expect things to be this serious. Still worried about his father, Minhyuk decisively slides open the window. With glowing eyes and fierce determination, Minhyuk leaps out into the night. His mother watches from the window as Minhyuk soars across the city skyline. She smiles knowingly, remarking to herself, kids really are a handful. The scene shifts. Ochiai, referred to as Sakuya's father, and Sakuya, leads his forces towards the Tiger Roar Guild. Spotlights pierce the night sky over the city as the text reads. Meanwhile, Minhyuk surveys the pitch-black city, noting the darkness makes his target easier to spot. His gaze sharpens, a scar visible on his determined face as he focuses. Meanwhile, Ochiai stumbles, exclaiming, what the a dizzy spell as his men look on. He rubs his eye, puzzled. Ever since I was enhanced by fragment of the abyss, I haven't even caught a cold. A dark, swirling abyss seed hovers above the crystalline fragment that enhanced Ochiai. Ochiai looks up in alarm. This is as a dark voice taunts. You're not getting away. Back on the rooftop, Minhyuk whips around, exclaiming, that voice. A sinister, white-haired figure materializes behind Minhyuk, who wonders, is he hiding his presence? I can't sense him at all. Minhyuk's eyes narrow in grim realization, damn, so he really is in the sixth shelter. Ochiai clutches his head, groaning, and another wave of dizziness. As the world blurs around him, the dark voice echoes over the city, Abyss Seed, you're not escaping, as Ochiai feels it again. Minhyuk, still on the rooftop, clutches his head as the voice continues, your soul is. The sinister figure appears behind Ochiai, who shouts, he's here, as the voice declares, already marked by me. Ochiai is violently thrown backward by an unseen force, a powerful impact rippling around him. Stunned, Ochiai wonders, an illusion, as the spectral tormentor and its voice reappear. Abyss Seed, you're not getting away. Minhyuk grimaces as the spectral figure clutches him, the voice repeating, your soul is already marked by me. He realizes, so this is the soul marking. The ghostly figure screams with distorted rage, Abyss Seed, you're not escaping. Suddenly, a new figure appears below, shouting up at Minhyuk, hey, what are you doing out here this late? Minhyuk thinks, crap, that loud voice drew attention, as the figure below demands, get down here. Damn it, Minhyuk internally curses, as the figure below yells wait, just as a flash indicates Minhyuk's swift movement. Minhyuk leaps away, the figure below wondering, he vanished? He lands smoothly on another rooftop, energy swirling around him. The spectral tormentor reappears, taunting, Abyss Seed, you're not getting away. As Minhyuk thinks, it's happening again. Minhyuk's eyes glow, a new theory forming. Is it because of the light? Against the full moon, he stands resolute. Let's test it. Minhyuk stands under a streetlight, checking his watch as oblivious pedestrians pass. He seems to understand, thinking, I think I've got the gist of it. Minhyuk realizes after 7 seconds in darkness, the soul marking activates. Checking his pulse, he continues his thought. Then I get hit with a strong wave of dizziness. He observes, if I panic, the lines change, as the chilling voice echoes. Your soul is already marked by me. The spectral tormentor glitches and screams, while Minhyuk looks utterly unimpressed. Minhyuk realizes only he can see the clinging specter as a passerby mutters about Chunibyu. He deduces that walking under light triggers a screeching noise in his head. Minhyuk notes that after a while in the light, the marking fades and the entity vanishes. Standing alone, Minhyuk quietly processes this new information about his pursuer. He connects the dots, sunlight, and house lights previously suppressed the soul marking symptoms. Though the Abyss Seed's presence is annoying, Minhyuk seems to find it manageable for now. He remains cautious, knowing the entity can still track him despite the light's effect. The spectral figure looms, shouting you're not getting away, but Minhyuk appears unfazed. Minhyuk's eyes glow with resolve. He knows he can't afford to lower his guard. Minhyuk prioritizes finding his father, even as the spectral tormentor persists. Walking down the street, he suddenly clutches his head, exclaiming, "Arg, stop," as a woman watches. An overhead view shows Minhyuk on the sidewalk as a car's headlights approach. He stands bathed in the car's bright lights, the tormentor seemingly gone. Minhyuk confirms his theory, just as I thought. He doesn't show up when there's light. He worries, if mom's right, then dad and the others are in danger. Minhyuk considers the unknown number of strong fighters at the shelter. He deduces the army, allied with Tiger Roar, won't remain idle. His eyes gleam with realization. It's very likely they're trying to crush the allied guild again. Enveloped in dark energy, Minhyuk vows, I'll protect dad and mom even if I have to kill every last one of them. Minhyuk's polished shoes come to a halt on the dark pavement. He reflects grimly, are those peaceful days really gone for good? Ahead, a crowd of suited men gathers. Minhyuk murmurs, HM? Peeking from behind a pillar, he confirms, looks like we're here. He wonders silently, how's dad planning to negotiate this? A memory surfaces, his father's advice, violence should be the last resort. Young Minhyuk had promised, got it, as his father patted his head. Minhyuk considers, even now, dad probably won't fight unless he has no other option. His eyes dart sideways with a sudden, something catches his attention. Two figures in sunglasses push forward, exclaiming, out of the way, it's starting. One of the men remarks, can't remember the last time boss drew his sword. As the boss unsheathes his blade, another recalls last time. He left a scar nearly 2 kilometers long on the enemy. The boss's eyes blaze with red energy as he calls out, Tsuchita. His glowing sword is fully drawn, and he commands, get out. With a powerful upward swing, he unleashes a devastating energy wave as someone shouts, here he comes. The building facade explodes violently under the force of the attack. Minhyuk's father, eyes glowing, watches the unfolding chaos intently. A formidable, long-haired figure with a distinct forehead mark observes the scene, flanked by his men. One of the onlookers stares in utter disbelief, exclaiming, "Huh?" The boss stands resolute before the shattered building, his sword still radiating power. The boss coolly sheathes his sword, a hint of satisfaction on his face. One of his sunglasses-clad underlings, eyes glowing, turns and calls out. A white-haired man with a facial scar questions, "Has the boss always been this decisive?" The underling grins, famous for it. The boss doesn't waste time getting to the point. The white-haired man ponders, "But what about violence as a last resort?" "That was the old philosophy," the underling explains. "Before we learned the military wouldn't always step in." He elaborates that the military views hunter skirmishes as minor, not intervening unless fatal. "So, fist first, talk later," the underling states. Winning the fight makes talking unnecessary. Amidst the rubble, the strategy is clear. Finish it with one blow, then negotiate. The white-haired man observes Manhwa's father, thinking, "He doesn't seem like someone looking for a fight." The white-haired man wonders if such power, like Manhwa's father's, justifies a rampage. Suddenly, a blindfolded figure in a wide-brimmed hat appears behind him, a knowing smirk on his face. This mysterious man is revealed, silhouetted atop a skyscraper under the night sky. He surveys a ruined cityscape, helicopters circling over a colossal, fallen beast and a makeshift camp. Identified as Shizenji Yukio, LV-75 Arhat, he stands resolute against the full moon. His eyes flare with an intense blue light as clairvoyance activated flashes on screen. His vision reveals the massive creature, a level 90 boss, seemingly ripped apart without heavy weaponry. Yukio, now shown as a LV-5 monk, humbly remarks on the terrifying strength still out there. Back in the present, the shattered building still smolders from the boss's devastating attack. Manhwa's father, the boss, stands firm, his men behind him, ready for what's next. From the rubble, a scarred man screams, "You bastard, you think the refuge is still as it was?" The boss smirks, "Indeed, things have changed. Annoying guys like you have appeared." His hand on his sword, the boss remarks, "I should have killed you back then." The scarred man grins defiantly, "Then do it now. Or are you too scared?" The boss's expression hardens. "What did you say?" "I can't ignore that." Blue energy crackles around the boss's hand as he grips his sword hilt tighter. The scarred man's eyes widen, sensing the shift in the boss's demeanor. Sweating, he taunts, "I've provoked enough. Come out, or is this still not enough?" He points accusingly, a coward who can't even draw his sword, as the boss's men watch. The scarred man bellows, "Just be nourishment for us, the tiger roar, right?" The boss, eyes blazing, lunges forward, sword arcing through the air. He slams his blade down, a ghostly winged aura flaring behind him. A shadowy figure smirks, "Got it," as the boss's eyes burn with power. Suddenly, a voice booms, "That's ENOUGH." An armored figure materializes, a glowing shield deflecting the boss's strike. Shiraya Samu, a LV-63 assassin, appears, remarking, "Fighting in the refuge. You've got guts." The boss's underlings are stunned, asking, "Shirai, is he siding with Tiger Roar? Why is he here?" The white-haired man ponders if Shirai supports Tiger Roar or if his arrival is mere chance. Looking at the damaged building, the white-haired man senses many people inside. He concludes internally his presence here isn't a coincidence. The scarred man from Tiger Roar looks nervous, yet defiant. Shirai holds his ground with the glowing shield, protecting the taunting figure. The boss glares, questioning if Shirai is truly aligned with Tiger Roar. Shirai, alongside an official, recites the refuge law. Personal duels are prohibited. The official continues, violators face at least 15 days of imprisonment. He smirks, finishing, or the death penalty. Will you comply, Mukashima? The boss realizes their plan, provoke him, then use the law to trap him. He sees through their scheme, knowing they're trying to frame him despite their own misdeeds. The boss understands imprisonment could lead to an indefinite sentence or a convenient accident. He knows if he falls, his allied guild will be instantly crushed by Tiger Roar and other rivals. The boss internally questions why the military's top brass would meddle in factional disputes. He grits his teeth, admitting he doesn't know their true aim, but resolves he cannot confess. Facing the official, the boss coolly denies any duel ever took place. He firmly states that as a guild supporter, he won't accept guilt without solid proof. The official points to the massive gash in the building. This blade mark is clear evidence. Unfazed, the boss smirks back, simply saying, "You're joking." He counters, claiming the damage is merely proof of renovation efforts, not a fight. The boss looks down at the official. "Well, it seems you still don't understand." Angered, the official declares, "It's not for you to decide. If I say it's a duel, it is." The official grins triumphantly, revealing countless onlookers. "The moment you stepped in here, you lost?" The official coldly tells the boss, surrender quietly as the boss sweats. His loyal men roar, we won't lose, boss, rallying behind him. One man urges, let's accept the challenge. But the boss silences them with a wait. Shirai and the official stand confidently as the scarred man smirks, they're within range too. They won't shoot. The boss internally analyzes Shirai, a level 63 assassin, fast and hard to pin down. A desperate plan forms in the boss's mind. If I take Tsuchida as a hostage, I can get through this. Shirai, resolute, raises his glowing shield, anticipating the boss's move. The boss lunges forward, sword flashing, as Shirai braces for impact, shouting, he's coming. Shirai activates sword shield. Determined, I can't afford to be the weak link. The boss smirks, recalling. The defender's defensive skills can analyze attacks more precisely than other classes. Shirai stands firm, his glowing shield ready, declaring, at this range, I can block it completely. He internally notes, sword shield only blocks swords, making it exceptionally effective against them. The boss's massive sword crashes down, but Shirai's sword shield skill flares, ready to absorb the blow. Shirai grits his teeth, confident, an attack from a level 65 samurai is nothing. The boss's powerful strike is completely nullified by the radiant shield, much to his shock. The scarred man roars with glee, give up, Mukashima. The official sneers, will you surrender peacefully, or be thrown into prison with your comrades? He presses further, choose, as the boss glares cornered. The boss's loyal men cry out in desperation, boss. Defeated, the boss looks down, residual energy flickering as he weighs his impossible options. Defeated, the boss looks down, but his hand tightens on his sword. Suddenly, he lifts his blade again, eyes glinting with renewed purpose. Boss, his loyal men exclaim, sensing a shift in the tide. The official smirks condescendingly, finally, a wise choice, expecting surrender. His men whisper, was that last strike a bluff? He's protecting us. A key subordinate recognizes the signal, raising the sword means prepare. Releasing it means attack all at once. The boss's own hands begin to smolder with energy. They don't know we possess this technique. As if on cue, another of his men snaps his fingers, his sword vanishes in a blue flash. Shirai, caught off guard by the vanishing blade, shouts, the sword disappeared. The boss, eyes blazing crimson, vaults over Shirai's faltering defense, targeting the official. Shirai, facing the airborne boss, defiantly declares, no problem. This shield is enchanted to block swords. The boss's eyes burn with intensity as raw, blue energy crackles around his hands. Shirai smirks confidently, even at level 69, this shield can't be pierced. As the boss lands, the very ground beneath him begins to fracture under immense pressure. His hands become fully engulfed in a smoldering, rock-like power, transforming them. With a devastating surge, the floor erupts violently, debris flying everywhere. The boss slams his newly formed stone gauntlet into the earth, shattering it as Shirai braces. A colossal shockwave of force blasts Shirai backwards, his shield proving useless against the impact. Stunned and bleeding, Shirai gasps. What? What is this? It's not a blade. It's a hammer. The boss, his arm now a brutal stone weapon, leaps to strike his reeling opponent. The boss's stone-clad arm descends, a brutal hammer aimed at Shirai. The official, Tsuchida, roars in fury, I know your aim. Tsuchida declares, since you opposed, it's immediate execution, as the boss attacks. The boss, eyes blazing, bellows stop, unleashing another earth-shattering power. Jagged pillars of dark rock erupt, forming a crude cage around the startled official. Debris from the attack chips Tsuchida's hat as he grits his teeth. The scarred man yells, he's blown away, hey, kill him, as Tsuchida stumbles. Soldiers immediately open fire, shouting shoot, at the boss. The boss, hands glowing with power, commands, activate. A colossal earthen shield erupts, deflecting the hail of bullets. The scarred man smirks, all right, if I can stop his movements, we can. The boss, mid-action, is shocked as the scarred man appears right before him, hand outstretched. The scarred man lunges, a dark energy trail following his hand, aiming for the boss's chest. This, the boss exclaims, caught completely off guard by the sudden, close-quarters assault. The scarred man explains, the stone prison from the subordinate trapped me in shadows. He continues, and you destroyed Tsuchida's shield, leaving a mark on the remaining magic power. The boss is now ensnared by jagged, dark energy spikes, the Shadow Trans skill activated. The scarred man stands triumphantly behind the immobilized boss. Since you've lost the hostage, you've lost. With a manic grin, the scarred man commands his troops, finish them. The boss's eyes widen in disbelief. What? As the situation turns dire, the boss, still ensnared, looks up in shock. What's that? His soldiers hesitate, one stammering, Wait, Commander? The scarred man turns, equally surprised. What's the surprise? A mysterious figure with glowing eyes appears behind them, calmly asking, Yes. Why are you so shocked? The scarred man panics. Who is that? A helper from Mukashima, attacking an assassin from behind. He internally resolves, he's an enemy. Strike first. I have to use that asterisk. The scarred man swiftly reaches for a hidden vial in his coat. But the newcomer already holds the vial. That's it. The deadly poison. When did he steal it? The scarred man gasps. With a powerful kick, the mysterious figure sends the scarred man flying, who yells, Ugh, let go. The scarred man is violently launched backwards, his body twisting from the force of the blow. The official, Tsuchida, screams Sora in sudden terror. Dark, swirling tendrils envelop the scarred man, who realizes he's trapped. Soldiers stare in horror as the ominous purple fog spreads around them. Everyone retreat. It's poison, a soldier yells as his comrades begin to fall. The scarred man, caught in the toxic mist, grimly accepts Mukashima's comrade is gone. A hand decisively cuts through the poisonous haze, reaching forward. The mysterious figure effortlessly moves through the chaos, soldiers scattering before him. Why can he still move? The scarred man gasps. This poison can even immobilize a level 90 boss. A horrifying realization dawns on the scarred man as he struggles against the newcomer's influence. The newcomer stands over the defeated, his eyes glowing, as the scarred man thinks a monster. The newcomer, eyes glowing purple, holds a dagger in his teeth. A chilling sight under the full moon. He spits the dagger out with a sharp glint. The daggers now pins something unseen to the ground with a metallic clang. Towering over the fallen, he coldly asks the scarred man, Where do you think you're going? The scarred man, utterly defeated, can only grit his teeth in silence. A system window explains the 5 core player stats: intelligence, perception, agility, constitution, and strength. The scarred man realizes to withstand this poison, his constitution must be like a level 100 player. The newcomer calmly orders, Tell your men to lower their weapons. Tsuchida, sweating and furious, glares intensely, his own eyes faintly glowing. Suddenly, a devastating punch connects with immense force. Blue energy crackling at the point of impact. The boss, Mukashima, retaliates, his massive fist hurtling towards the newcomer. But the newcomer catches the colossal arm, twisting it as Tsuchida roars, like hell. Tsuchida spots what he believes is an opening, a grim smile on his face. He unleashes a swift, glowing strike, aiming to exploit the newcomer's focus on the joint lock. The newcomer's eyes blaze with purple light, utterly unfazed by Tsuchida's powerful blow. With blinding speed, the newcomer launches a devastating kick, sending Tsuchida reeling. Tsuchida is propelled backwards, a look of pained surprise etched on his face. The newcomer, a blur of motion, hurls 2 glowing projectiles towards the airborne Tsuchida. Tsuchida, mid-flight, prepares to defend, his own fist crackling with energy. Nearby, the boss remains ensnared while Shirai lies motionless on the ground. Tsuchida tumbles through the air, completely overwhelmed by the newcomer's assault. A blur of motion as Tsuchida crashes heavily, the impact obscured by dust and energy. The newcomer watches Tsuchida fall, his glowing purple eyes betraying no emotion. A confident thought flashes, no matter how strong he is, he won't be able to react to shadow teleport. Suddenly, the scarred man reappears, teleporting directly behind the unsuspecting newcomer. He lands a powerful, glowing blow right into the newcomer's back. But his blade barely scratches the surface, met with an unyielding defense. This guy's body, it's hard as iron. The scarred man thinks in disbelief. He struggles, realizing with horror, I can't pull it out, as his weapon is lodged. The newcomer spins, delivering a brutal punch that connects squarely with the scarred man's face. The scarred man soars backward, propelled by the newcomer's devastating punch. Purple energy continues to emanate from the newcomer's powerful form. He damaged me with just wind pressure. The scarred man thinks, realizing he must retreat. Before he can react, the newcomer's glowing eyes are inches from his face. With a brutal downward blow, the newcomer smashes the scarred man into the ground. The newcomer's grip is like iron on his face, too fast, the scarred man thinks, blood flying. Towering over his fallen foe, the newcomer surveys the cratered earth. Mukashima and his remaining men watch the display of power with grim intensity. The newcomer takes a determined step forward amidst the debris. He effortlessly lifts the defeated scarred man by the collar, facing the stunned soldiers. One soldier nervously asks another, You want some? As they witness the newcomer's power. The newcomer, dragging the scarred man, tells Mukashima, Dad, I'll leave the other one to you. Let's go home. Mukashima, with a slightly surprised grin, stammers, Why yeah? The scene shifts to the Mukudori home, guarded by stern men in suits. Inside, Sora, Mukashima, a woman, and another man gather. The woman asking, Is it over? To which the man confirms, yeah. Mukashima, with a grim expression, inquires about their captive. Did he talk? The man reveals the scarred man, bound beneath the table, admitting, nope. He's pretty tight-lipped. Mukashima sighs, well, whatever. At least we understand Tiger's Roar's stance now. Don't let your guard down. Mukashima's gaze shifts, and more than Tiger's Roar's plans. He looks intently at Sora, asking, Sora, what have you been through these past 5 years? Sora begins, listening to your feud. Dad, I realized what I've been doing. He explains, 5 years ago, I fell into a strange space and kept killing countless monsters. That was probably one of the towers. A montage flashes, showing Sora's brutal experiences and battles inside the tower. Sora concludes, in the end, a summoner brought me back to this world. The other man interjects, there are 16 towers in total, but none of them match your story. Sora considers, so it was an undiscovered tower. Mukashima suggests if that tower is near the 6th shelter, we could make capturing it a priority. The man smiles warmly. I'm just glad you're alive, Sora. Mukashima bellows with laughter, glad he's alive. He came back hundreds of millions of times stronger than us. The woman gently tells Sora, I don't care about any of that as long as you're home. Sora, with conviction, declares our family will never be separated again. He observes his own hand, then thinks they're both as scarred as I am. Memories flash as Sora internally vows, I'll never leave them again. Suddenly, the overhead light in the room begins to flicker erratically. The light then cuts out completely, plunging the room into sudden darkness. Sora and the woman look up, the woman asking, oh, at the unexpected blackout. Sora's eyes narrow, a flicker of unease crossing his face as he senses something. Mukashima wonders if it's a power outage, while the other man notes the predicted storm hasn't started. Sora whips around, startled, as a glowing, white-haired figure materializes behind him, thinking, this is bad, this guy. The menacing figure, grinning wildly, has Sora in a tight hold, proclaiming, this time, I definitely won't let you escape. The scene shifts to a tranquil night, a full moon hanging over a traditional rooftop. Sora internally panics, damn it, it's back again. The spectral figure grins menacingly behind Sora, who notes. But what it's saying is different from before, isn't it? As the family reacts to the power outage, Sora realizes, and what's more, even Dad and Mom can't see people with powers or anything. The white-haired entity stares with wide, unsettling eyes, a manic energy radiating from it. Sora wonders, did it disappear? Was it dispelled? No. Did it just leave my body? The entity materializes again, dark tendrils swirling, declaring, it's been a while, Abyss Shield. Sora's eyes widen in shock as he thinks, it has a will of its own. He tries to reassure himself, but it doesn't seem to have materialized. It's probably just a hallucination. I'll deal with it later. The entity leans closer, taunting, are you pretending you can't hear me? Or do you think I'm a hallucination? Mortals sure do love to deceive themselves. The entity covers Sora's eyes, taunting, still think I'm a hallucination even after this. Sora stumbles, his vision obscured as the cloaked entity looms menacingly above him. My vision disappeared. Sora panics internally. It wasn't a hallucination. His family stares in bewildered shock at Sora's sudden distress. Dark tendrils swirl around Sora as a worried voice calls his name. The woman watches, alarmed, as shadowy forms seem to writhe around Sora. The other man recoils, pointing at Sora. You. Those eyes. With a determined shout of purify, the woman unleashes a cleansing light from her hands. Despite the purifying aura, a notification declares Sora is not in a cursed state, leaving him stunned. Sora stares in disbelief, realizing with dread, it gained a physical form. Sora stomps his foot, realizing, this is bad, Dad and the others are in danger. A white-haired figure, presumably Sora possessed for the entity, unleashes a violent flurry of motion. The spectral entity now stands fully manifested, dark energy erupting as the family watches in terror. The entity mockingly asks from the darkness, Cuckoo, what's wrong, scared? Its wild, white-haired face grins with pure malice, surrounded by swirling dark particles. Mukashima shouts, Sora, is there an enemy? I can't see anything. While the woman echoes his confusion, Sora confronts the entity, demanding, you despicable bastard, why are you chasing me? As it casually deflects the accusation, the entity, Foderu, reveals his identity. I am Foderu, a dark Asa god tribe. As shadowy figures loom behind him, Foderu explains Sora absorbed a god's black crystal in the abyss, stating, to be precise, my dark power. Foderu declares, because you selfishly escaped from the abyss. You've been targeted by the agents of God. Foderu grins, warning Sora that God's agents are gathering, urging him to return to the tower or die. Sora internally connects agents of God to the Zura his mother previously mentioned. Dark, Swirling energy envelops Sora as he stands firm against the threat. Mukashima, katana ready, considers attacking, but the woman advises caution. Sora, with a steely gaze, questions Foderu's ability to defeat even a Shinmai. Foderu looms over Sora, scoffing at the idea that a few Azura could pose a real threat. Foderu furiously claims Sora's previous victory was luck, boasting he can still easily steal Sora's sight. Sora confronts Foderu directly, demanding a reason to trust his dire warnings. Dark particles intensify around them, hinting at an imminent clash or power surge. Sora seizes Foderu by the throat, yet the entity erupts in maniacal laughter. Foderu sneers, "Foolish mortal, you'll regret it when blood rains upon this land." Sora remains silent, dark wisps still clinging to him as he processes the threat. A close-up reveals a scar on Sora's chest, a testament to past battles. Internally, Sora weighs the entity's words, if by some chance he's telling the truth. With shadowed eyes, Sora contemplates his next move. What should I do? Sora suddenly slams his fist into Foderu's face with a powerful impact. Golden light swirls around a hand, channeling a purifying energy. Sora, empowered by the light, delivers a devastating blow, making Foderu shriek. As Foderu recoils, Sora realizes with relief, "My vision, it's back." Sora, vision restored, stumbles back in surprise as his family looks on. Foderu reeling from the attack. Foderu's shadowy form rides, still reeling from Sora's empowered strike. Mukashima looks intently, declaring with conviction, "I believe you." He then turns and shouts with a relieved smile, "Shizenji." Sora, startled, whips his head around, a fresh scratch visible on his cheek. A calm monk in a wide-brimmed hat appears, recognized as the monk who was at the town entrance. Mukashima glances at Sora, asking curiously, "An acquaintance?" More than an acquaintance, Mukashima reveals, "He's the man I started a guild with." A look of pride crosses Mukashima's face as he speaks of his old comrade. Foderu struggles against an unseen force, yelling, "Damn monk, let go of me," as Sora asks Shizenji, "You can see this guy?" Shizenji, the monk, states gravely, "Let's talk. This is an emergency." Shizenji, the monk, adjusts his wide-brimmed hat, his eyes glowing with an intense light. Mukashima demands answers, but Shizenji defers, promising explanations after speaking with Sora. The scene transitions to a serene, full moon hanging in the cloudy night sky. Inside, Sora sits opposite Shizenji, Foderu hovering nearby as Sora asks about the emergency. Shizenji clarifies he's not an Azura, but his insight allows him to perceive this divine power. This insight, he explains, enabled him to use a forbidden divine arts to seal the king, Foderu. Shizenji then reveals Sora's divine power, though similar to Foderu's, vastly outstrips a Shinmai's strength. He admits uncertainty about Sora's power source, but urgently warns of powerful divine forces now gathered in town. As lightning cracks outside, Shizenji grimly suggests these forces are targeting Sora's power. Shizenji confirms Foderu's claims but strongly advises Sora against returning to the abyss, where beings far worse than Azura Esutera await. Shizenji warns Sora Foderu wants to reclaim his power, urging him to enlist in the army. Sora scoffs, "The army? You mean the guys who tried to bomb me?" Shizenji admits the army's flaws but insists there's one trustworthy person, adding Azura cooperate with them. Sora remains skeptical, recalling Foderu was an Azura. But Shizenji cites an unwritten rule protecting civilians. Shizenji confidently declares, "And above all, as long as I am here, the Azura won't recklessly interfere either." With glowing eyes and an emerging aura, Shizenji reveals, "Because a Raken is an existence comparable to an Azura, you see,